Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host, Chantel Francis, and I'm back here with Love Island Games Season 1, Episode 1 through 6, with someone new to Reality Realness. We have Miss Mansa here. Miss Mansa, tell me about yourself. Why did you want to talk to me about Love Island Games? Give me the whole shebang.
I mean, so I need someone to talk to about this show that is not my friends because they are not as heavily invested in this program as I am. I am a little bit about me. I am an entertainment lawyer, also TV producer, and just reality TV enthusiast. I watch, everything kind of in the reality TV unscripted world, but Love Island has always been my favorite show, and I'm so excited about this new iteration, and I feel like so far it's been giving.
It's been giving. So it's really nice to have you here on the channel. The reason why I started this channel was because my friends don't watch reality TV. So I needed to find other people that loved reality TV and especially Love Island, just like I did. I remember I was just looking for a reality TV show and I stumbled across Love Island UK. And I love all British television, and my dad's from England. So I was like, there's always going to be a good reality show coming out of the UK. And I found this when it was on season 3. It was airing. And I was like, whoa. What is this? And so I was watching that season. And I went back to season 1, watched all the way up to season 3. And then I've been a regular fan ever since. So yeah, I'm kind of like you.
OG. I've been there. I mean, just like you, there's something about the UK reality that just like hits differently. Maybe it's just something about they're less self-aware, or they're just a bit more free and authentic. And so ever since season 1 of Love Island UK, I've been hooked, and I follow them on every other show that they go to.
Absolutely. Do you watch any other iterations? So I'm assuming you watch Love Island UK, like we all do.
Yeah. I've watched
the US
UK,
version.
I've watched Australia, I've watched US, and I think that's it.
So agreed. So I haven't watched France myself. And any other iterations that I have watched? Yeah, I've watched Australia, US, and UK. Yeah. I think that's it.
I did follow a lot of the Love Island France from this past summer because it was coming up like incessantly on my feed on TikTok. Like the Sydney Edgar kind of arc was just being blown up everywhere. So I feel like I watched a lot of it without actually watching the show.
So, okay, we're going to be talking a lot about Love Island, but do you watch any other reality show, like competitive reality shows, or do you just do loved ones, or what do you not watch?
You know what? This is going to surprise a lot of people. I'm not really into The Bachelor. That's one that I've never really gotten into. I do watch Bachelor in Paradise, which is funny because I'm missing all of the context and the history of all of those people and where they came from. But I don't know, maybe it's the I guess the format, the island, the romance, it reminds me of Love Island. So I do watch Bachelor in Paradise. But in terms of other competition shows, I've watched Are You the One, which is gold standard. I feel like one of my favorites. I love The Challenge, big fan of that. And what else? I think that's pretty much it.
I'm sure we'll stumble across some other ones, but I watch those ones too. We have some friends joining us here. So Sophie Dophie is here. I wasn't sure if I was going to cover it, Sophie, but I just kind of we met. So I was working at my best friend's restaurant, and Miss Mansa came in with her friend, and I don't know how we got talking about Love Island, but we talked about Love Island and other reality shows, and I was like, hey, do you want to come on mine? she said yes. And so this is why we are coming together to cover this season, which I think is really exciting and fun. Meant to be. He was our cute here. Hi, Rachel. So excited. Love Island Games is so good. It is so good. I kind of think, this might be a hot take, that maybe they need to get rid of the regular version and just do Love Island Games from now on, because like it's just better.
For US, for sure, because I feel like the UK, the thing that I've always said about the US versus the UK is the US, they don't give them enough time. And so you don't feel like the connections are really forming as deeply as they do in the UK version. And I know it's a lot of episodes and a lot of time commitment, but the US, because it's such a short production period, it doesn't feel as impactful. It doesn't feel as real. I'm less invested in the relationships. But the way that they have reimagined it for these games is absolutely working for me.
Me too. It is, and you're right though with your analysis as to why it works better in the UK than the US. I'm like, I don't care about this couple, and they think they think it's the drama about the dumping, but no, like you care about the dumping when you care about the couples or you care about the relationships, and so they don't seem to understand that part of the formula, and so that's why I kind of like with the Love Island games, they seem to be leaving them alone. Like it doesn't seem like there's a lot of tampering or like potentially rigging. Like I don't know if there's actually rigging going on, but I'm always questioning it, especially in the US seasons. Like, is that not the producer's favorite, or is it the producer's favorite? Is that why they didn't go home, or that's why they didn't get dumped? And so I feel like with it kind of being in the little society of the Islanders, taking care of like who's on the bottom, is if you suck, you're on the bottom, and somebody, you know, you have to make friends and connections because they might send you home or they might save you. So I'm happy with this format myself, definitely. So people are saying that Love Island, this games is kind of like the challenge, and it kind of is.
Only like a budget version. And it's funny to me watching the Islanders really thinking that they're going into like challenge level physical competitions, and then every episode it's like you know, the baby bird competition or I think that they forgot it's Love Island games, not MTV's The Challenge.
But I do like that all the challenges are a little bit different. It's not just all like brute strength. Like, yes, some of them are very silly, but I kind of like that it gives a wide variety of people the opportunity of winning power, becoming the power couple. And so that's kind of what some of the criticism I have for even this season of Big Brother is all these end games right now. It's all these super physical competitions. And then they have like a 60-something-year-old woman play against these 20-something-year-old men and expecting them to be able to beat them in these challenges. And so I like that it seems to be equitable across all the different couples. It doesn't matter their size or their strength. It's possible for them to win. So I think that that's a positive.
Yeah,
who's best at spitting beer in someone's cup. Can't really.
Honestly, I don't think I could do those challenges. Every time I see them, I cringe.
I mean, for a couple $100,000, like,
okay,
$100 grand US, and we wouldn't get taxed on it. So,
okay. In which case, I might consider it. And if my partner was as hot as some of these guys, you know what? I could be persuaded.
I mean, some of them are quite handsome. Yes, Kanisha, you made another live. Okay, well, let's get into the first episode. I know it was a little while ago, but I was in Brea for Robinson Podcast, and so I had other things going on, so I couldn't be on top of this season, but I'm happy to be here now. So Toxic is playing. They love playing Toxic Muzak version. You know it's going to be messy when they start playing that song.
Oh, absolutely. But you know what? It fits. And Brittany really did her big one with that song.
I love Toxic.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
So what do you think about Maya Jama as the host? Because it seems like this is a US version of the show. It says because it's not playing on ITV and other channels in like the UK or Australia. So what do you think about them bringing in Maya Jama as opposed to Sarah Hanlon?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Maya is the host that we need. Yeah. She has been an amazing host for I think it was her first season of UK this past summer. And she just has an energy that she brings to it that she's in on the joke. She's like giggling and laughing with us as the audience, but she asks the questions that we want her to ask. And she's beautiful. Oh my gosh, every time she walks into that villa, I'm like, these men must be shaking in their boots.
I know, she's a stunner, and I definitely think
every outfit. She's amazing. She's
so good. Such a good find. I really loved Carolyn. I'm forgetting her last name.
Yes, I
I forget her
forgot
last
about
name right
that.
now, but
Yeah.
I
Carolyn
really
Flack,
enjoyed
that's what it
Flack.
is.
Yes, Caroline Flack.
Mhm,
And so I really really loved her. So I'm sorry that
mhm,
rest in peace. I wasn't necessarily a fan of Laura Whitmore, and
mhm,
so I think that this is definitely a happy medium. She's
mhm.
got a little bit of swag, like she's beautiful. I think it's like she's able to get and have the conversations with these people, which I like, and so I think stamps approved on
Yeah.
Maya Jama for
Because she's a
sure.
fan of the show, I've heard, you know? She was watching it from the early days just like the rest of us, so I think stepping in as the host, it felt very natural because she knows what the viewers want to see.
So Tosh here is saying that they like Maya Jama. The only other host I think is on par is Sophie Monk. I like Sophie Monk too, but I just love the UK version better. So like Maya
Mhm.
has to take the cake there.
Yeah, absolutely. Sophie Monk is great, but sometimes I feel like Sophie's a little bit too serious, and maybe it's just me misreading her humor because it's the Australian kind of vibe. But sometimes I feel like I'm like, are you shading these people? Like,
For sure. So she comes on, she's in a helicopter, and she's going to be going to the top secret Love Island lair. And so in the lair, she's kind of going to all the different people that are going to be playing this season of Love Island games. What do you think about this new kind of hokey way that they're introducing all these players that we've seen before?
well, I mean, Love Island is they always have their insane intros. Like, you know, in the UK version, you see them leaving whatever office they were in and throwing off their clothes, and like suddenly they're in a bikini. So this, although it is like a kind of a hokey intro, it also fits like the Love Island kind of vibe aesthetic. And I mean, I'm here for it. I don't
I
know.
love
It's
it.
like it's setting up the stakes, and it's a different style of show, so it's a different intro.
So the first person that we're introduced to is it really Steph? Yes, from France. Steph, and he's on a boat and he dives into the water. So you probably weren't familiar with Steph. Yeah,
No, I
me
didn't watch
neither.
his season. Yeah, don't know much about him, but I do love his style. And
He's
when I
so
first seen him on
French.
screen, I was like, okay, all right, we're doing all right so well with the hot guys.
Definitely. We zoom over to Australia. We're introduced to Jessica, and she's laying out on, I don't know if it was on the beach or if it was on like one of those pool chairs, and then gets pushed in or pushes somebody into the pool. They love pushing people into the pool in these little beginning montages. Did you know Jessica?
I did. I watched her on her season. I loved her on her season. She is a wild one. And I'm surprised we haven't seen that much of her, that energy from her yet, but I'm sure there's much more to come. But yeah, she is the most Australian person. I actually lived in Australia for several years.
Oh, really?
And when I hear her accent, I'm like, oh, you are Australian as hell.
So I don't think I finished watching that season that she was on. Was that the one where the girl that was kind of like the it girl, she got dumped and then she was like hiding and she got to come back in with two new guys? Was it that season?
I don't remember. Oh, I think it was. Yes, I think
Like
that
at the
was her
very
season.
beginning, where I didn't get past
Exactly, right at the
that, I
very
don't
beginning.
think.
Oh, exactly, yeah, and then she came back again. I can't remember what her name was, and then she ended up getting together with, like, I don't know how I can describe him because I don't remember his name, but he's kind of like a taller, hotter Timothy Chalamet. That
Okay,
was the
I mean,
vibe he was kind of giving.
I know who that is, but I don't
Yeah,
remember the person on the show. I
yeah,
might have stopped watching by that at that
yeah,
point.
I can't remember that. It's funny, I watch all these episodes, and then as soon as it's done, I forget their names, except for the ones that were my faves, but Jess was great on that season.
I usually won't remember them unless I'm covering the season.
Okay.
So it's like you get familiar with their names and you like what the things that have happened. And so if I didn't cover the season and then they weren't the stars, superstars, like I might just forget them a little bit.
Mm.
We get introduced to Callum. He falls off a surfboard. Is Callum your type of hottie?
Not at all. But but he's great entertainment. And I think he was also on Jess's season. And
Yeah.
he is that guy that's gonna say the stupidest thing ever and doesn't care. He brings so much entertainment, so much drama. I mean, I don't know that he knows what love is, but he's still here looking.
Yeah, I mean, I think he might be there for a paycheck and some notoriety and fame, but
Mhm.
you need that type of guy on the show for sure.
Absolutely.
So we move over to the UK. We're getting introduced to Toby. He's playing soccer. Of course, we all know Toby and Chloe from the UK. Were you a fan? Were you happy to see him on the cast?
Big fan. I was sad about their breakup because I really loved them. I was rooting for them. They had a really kind of up and down season. Like, they broke up, and then the Casa happened, and then they kind of got back together. So it was nice to see them continuing their relationship. And I was sad to see that they broke up, but given that they did, I'm glad to see him back on our screens because he was such an entertaining character on his season.
And you know who his best friend is, right?
Oh yeah, Tyreek.
Yes! Oh my gosh. I mean, I know he's still, as far as we know, with Ella, but wouldn't it be nice if Tyreek and Ella made an appearance here?
Oh my God, I would love that. You know what I want to know? Tyreek, where is the track? Drop the track.
Didn't they already drop it? I thought they did. Are we only just seeing them in the studio?
I've been looking.
We just see them in the studio, like, okay, track's dropping soon. We get introduced to Liberty. She's doing a little shopping bit. She looks very different than she looked on her season. I mean, I think it's because she's not super blonde, but
yeah, I can't really put my finger on what has changed for like in her aesthetic, but she does look different. But she looks great. I mean, I'm loving she's giving body. Like
she's definitely giving, she might have just like filled out a little bit more, and that's maybe why she's like just a little bit of a different vibe. Because like before, she was just super blonde and like, I don't know, just a little bit different, but I think she looks great.
Yeah, and the brunette hair surprisingly makes a big difference because it changed the way that she looked so significantly. I was like, is that Liberty? But she looks great, and I'm happy to see her because she was such a sweetheart and she was robbed on her season.
I mean, she might get robbed on this season too.
No, pray for Liberty.
Justice for Liberty.
Yeah.
Curtis, we introduced to him again. He rips off his pants while he's on the red carpet. Did you see him on the Challenge Australia? UK. Sorry.
No, I missed that. I did not see the Challenge UK.
So him and his brother were on that season.
Okay, yeah. So the last I saw of him was his season of Love Island, and boo, justice for Amy.
Justice for Amy. I mean, I am a fan of Moira to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Just because she's so messy, but he did Amy dirty. It was 100% bad. 100%. It was really bad. Oh, and on that season, like, there was a lot of badness going on for sure. We got introduced to Jack. He's DJing and he rips off his shirt. I don't fully remember Jack.
I love Jack. I want to marry Jack.
This season, I'm into him. But do you remember him specifically from his original season?
He was on season 4. I do remember him. I think he came in at Casa. I think that's where he came from.
Okay.
And he was with, he started with one Laura. I believe Laura, she was the flight attendant. And then he ended up with another Laura by the end of it. And I remember him on his season. He was a fan favorite. He's the exact same. He was just as cheeky, just as outgoing, just as friendly. So I'm excited to see him back.
I remember Laura the flight attendant, but I don't remember the second Laura.
Neither do I.
That's wild. I guess his Laura the flight attendant was an OG, so that's why I knew her. He looks familiar, but I wouldn't have been able to pinpoint his season if you didn't just tell me.
Yeah.
So Rachel here is saying that Jack was from season 4 Casa. Okay. Don't remember though. But season 4, that's like kind of a while ago now. It's like 7 years ago. So I'm allowed to forget. And this is before I even podcasted or anything. So I was just literally just watching leisurely like on my couch. So I forget. We go over to Sweden and we're introduced to Lisa in a sauna. Did you know Lisa?
No, I didn't know Lisa. I didn't even know there was a Love Island Sweden, but I'm actually interested to go back and watch it because I'm a big fan of the Swedes.
You're a big fan of the Swedes in general, or this particular Swede?
I've got family in Sweden, so I spent some time over there, and I had a couple Swedish boyfriends. So
okay, I wouldn't mind a Swedish boyfriend. You might have to give me your leftovers or their brothers. So we go over to the USA, which we're definitely going to be familiar with. We meet Selly. She's singing in a studio. Love Selly. Were you happy to see her?
Yeah, I was so excited to see her and Justine come back, especially them entering the villa together. Like it felt right. They on their season, they just brought such a great energy. It was so nice to see their friendship and to see them still flourishing after the show. I'm super excited to see Selly back.
So and like what I think I like as well is like the first time around, they weren't that familiar with like TV and cameras and confessionals, and like they have the more experience now, but they're not. It's not phoned in. It's not like over the top because they know that they're on TV, but they are more animated. They're giving more, and so like I like to see like a few years later that they're just so much better in the diary room, like and narrating
Absolutely.
the story. It's like
Yeah.
it's great. It's great. As you mentioned, Justine is doing track stuff and she's also serving body. Like she got
In
so
that
fit.
bathing suit, that little Jamaican stripe bathing suit on the track, I was like, okay, okay, I
I
see
was
you.
she looked so good. Like she always looked great, but like she came in with the outfits, the
Yeah.
body, the looks. Like I'm
But I
very
mean, I've been
impressed with
following her on
her glow
Instagram.
up.
She stays in the gym, so she better look like that.
And always dancing too. Yeah, she
Absolutely.
I mean, I think what was also, it's great because like when she was on her first season of Love Island, she talked about how she'd auditioned for Survivor and like she loves the challenge. And so it's
Mhm.
nice to see that she's actually been on the Challenge USA and like she's gotten to kind of live out some of these dreams that she had before she was on Love Island. So it's nice to see that, she's going to live her dream.
Absolutely. And I think she's going to be a serious competitor on this season for sure.
So Rachel here is saying, I'm glad Sally and Justine made up before the show. It's good to see their friendship again. So I didn't watch their YouTube video. Do you know offhand what happened
Yeah,
between
I
them?
did watch it, and it seems like they kind of had some kind of miscommunication. I think both of them had expectations about the other and weren't really communicating it, and it kind of came to a head on a girls' trip. But they have since, I think it was what they were saying through the process of quarantining and preparing for the show. They were forced to FaceTime with each other every day, and like they didn't really have anyone else to talk to, so that in that quarantine process, they really came back together and mended their friendship and had some of those tough conversations that they needed to have. So by the time it was time to enter the villa, they were like back.
So were these, was it like maybe like a loyalty vibe because with like the whole Johnny situation?
I don't think it was that. I think it was more so them going off into their own spheres and, creating their own friend groups. And the I think each of them processing feelings in a different way. From what it sounded like, I think Sally was going through a bit of a tough time and she was really reclusive and wanted to kind of process that on her own. And then then Justine took it more as of a slight, saying, I'm here for you. Like, let me know if I can help you. But because Sally was like, no, I'm good. I just want to be on my own. I think that kind of caused like a rift between them, just
Mm.
really kind of not understanding how the other needed to process, I guess, their feelings.
I think it also may have to do. So this is a channel. Everybody knows that I love astrology, and I talk about astrology all the time. And we were talking a bit about astrology when we first met. So Sally is a Gemini, and Justine is a Pisces, and so they are definitely going to process feelings and emotions and situations a lot differently, and maybe offended
Mhm.
by the way each of them do these certain things. So I can understand how
Mhm.
they could maybe have a bit of a miscommunication if something's going on with one of them. So
No,
I'm happy
absolutely.
that they were able to kind of reconnect. Rachel was surprised by the joint entrance. Apparently, they fell out before the show. So, was there another falling out, or is it just a falling out that they mended and then now they're good? You
I
know?
think it was that same falling out. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, okay. That's intense. Jessie planned her 30th birthday and Sally wasn't invited. Oh.
Yes, they did talk about that on the YouTube channel. And I think it was because they hadn't been speaking because of the earlier tension. And then the friends had planned the surprise party and they knew about that tension, but they weren't sure about would you want her here, even though you guys are kind of sorting through something. And so they made an executive decision not to invite Sally. And of course, Sally was hurt because she was thinking, well, even if we're going through something, like it's still your 30th birthday. I should be there.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. And like Geminis are so social. So like that would really offend a Gemini, I think, to not be a part of the party. Yeesh. We also re-meet Ray. So he's sitting with a girl at the club. How are you feeling about Ray?
I honestly, so I watched Ray's season and I remember, I think he comes in and says, like, I'm from season one, it was pretty boring. And I was like, yeah, because I watched your season and I do not remember you.
He left with Caro.
Oh,
And remember they did the Amazing
I
Race together?
remember her.
Did the Amazing Race together, and they did X on the Beach together.
Did they? I love X on the Beach and I
The
missed that.
most
I need to go
recent
back
X
and
on the
watch it.
Beach. And so that one has like, I don't know if you watch Big Brother Canada, but it has like Jamar and Ming Lee. And Caro's on there, Ray's
Okay,
on
I
there.
haven't seen that.
So it was from last summer, I think.
Okay, yeah.
But
I remember Caro, like I really remember her because she was such a big personality, like from her hair to her feet, everything. But I, for some reason, like Ray
well,
just
they didn't have a cast some more, but I think it's like they're all standing at those high top tables, and like remember the new set of guys came in. I think he was part of the new set of guys at the Casa
okay.
more type thing.
Okay. Well, either way, so far he's been good on the screen, and I'm excited to see him.
And then lastly, we see Amani at the airport because did she leave?
No, they're like, we'll just put you in the airport because you haven't actually left Fiji.
I mean, I really liked Imani add to her for her season of Love Island. Was that season 5?
Yeah.
She was great. It was just happened. I'm happy that she gets another shot at Love, and she was a standout for sure for that season. So
Absolutely. She brought us so much entertainment from the drama with Destiny and like all of her failed recouplings. But I feel like, yeah, she definitely was done dirty. She's so beautiful and so
mhm.
smart. I'm so excited to see her on the screen again. And I hope that this time around that she meets someone, because I think it was Scott that said it when he came in on her season, was like, he was surprised that she hadn't been snapped up yet. And I was like, me too.
Yeah, for sure. It could be also though she's quite young. She's only I think 22, and so she reads as a little bit older, but like maybe like there's something about just being a little bit young, not able to like connect or like get to the romantic level with someone as quickly. Like I don't know. I'm grasping. I'm like why I don't know. Maybe it's because she's young. So we learned that it's going to be 3 weeks worth of competition. Justine and Selly, they come into the villa in a convertible. I wrote again, Justine's body is looking good. And so, wait, what did I write? Selly doesn't want to see Selly real island. What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. So that's okay. We see the UK crew on a catamaran, and like I really love the UK vibe in general. Like they just know how to do hangout right. Like
They
they're
just
just
know how to party, you know. They don't
yes,
take themselves too seriously, right? They're there for fun. They're there to get to drink, and they're there to have a good
the
time.
chats, yes.
Exactly. It's
And
all
I
about
what
the
else
banter.
what I love about the UK guys specifically is that they seem to like their bromances. I'm just so invested in them. Like I love seeing them just get together and like have this such a great friendship between the bros. It's a little bit
Mhm.
different than the bromances in the US, I find.
Yeah. No,
They're
in the
just
US, you
different.
really see that the guys are much more focused on the relationships, which I guess is kind of the point of the show. But I like the way they do it in the UK, where they have both, right? They really like care about their mates.
So we learn that Liberty is really competitive. And Ray, when he walks into the villa, he wants to see Imani, and like that's who his sights are on. And he says that he's 5'11" with 6'5" energy. Do you agree?
I mean, I don't see the 6'5" energy, but I respect the confidence.
Now, do you think he's actually 5'11"? Because usually people that say that they're 5'11"
No,
are usually
no,
five
he is not.
nine.
No, he is not. And when I saw that lineup, I was like, this man is 5'9". Who are you kidding?
5'9" with 5'11" energy, maybe
Yeah,
is like might be more
exactly. It's that
accurate.
boy math.
That is boy math, isn't it?
Yeah.
So of course Imani's going to show up right after we hear that Ray is interested in meeting her. That's very classic Bachelor in Paradise, where it's like, oh, I would love to see so and so, and then they come down onto the beach, and so they're kind of taking a little bit from Bachelor in Paradise with how they're introducing these islanders. So Toby can't wait to see if his game is international. How do you think his game is doing so far?
Ooh, I mean, I love Toby, but I'm not sure about the game, you know? Like, I think we've seen him and Sally kind of hit it off, but I'm still not really sold. So we'll see.
Curtis is also really competitive. We see him dancing. Um, it's funny that he says that he's, a world champion or like a UK champion. Cause like I watch Dancing with the Stars and I see all the pros, and I don't know if he's at that level for me. Am I a hater?
No, you're not, because I don't see it either. But I also don't watch a lot of dance competitions. So, I mean, you could be. That's a whole world that I have no insight into. So, sure.
I mean, I grew up as a dancer, so I feel like I'm being I could be being critical, but it could also be like I'm just not a fan of Curtis from his season, and like I just don't. I feel like he might be phony, but
You know what? I definitely get that vibe from him. There's something about the way that he's like so earnest that it almost feels forced. And that, yeah, given what I know about him from his previous season, I don't trust it.
Me neither. So the UK crew enters the villa. So I'm just like enjoying the fact that like we're mixing these worlds, because it seems like the US has been watching the UK. I don't know if it's the other way around, if the UK cares about the US, but like I love that Sally like knew people, like they were like, oh, that's Liberty, and like I love the crossover.
Yeah, I really don't think that the UK guys are watching the US show, just from like the conversations that they've had so far. But yeah, it's nice to see that everything come together.
So Jack likes Imani. Is he a swirler? I'm like, I'm here for this.
Is it the Shonda Rhimes agenda?
I mean,
could be.
I love it.
But how could you not? But how could you not? With that face,
100%.
how could you not?
So I do find also that the UK, like, there's a lot more mixed race couples. It just seems like they're just a little bit more. It happens a little bit more easily. It seems like it's a big statement when it happens in the US, but in the UK it's a little bit more natural. But it's interesting that they haven't had a black winner in the UK, but they have in the US. So it's interesting, kind of those racial dynamics. How in one way it's a little bit more progressive in the UK, and then completely the opposite in the US.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is progressive, but then I also think it could just be the audience of the UK watching and the people who are active voting. I remember watching at the time, and then being on the Love Island Twitter and just hearing about the Facebook moms who have like a lot
Fiat 500.
Yes, Fiat 500, exactly. Fiat 500 are very powerful.
Very powerful. Jessica and Callum from Australia enter the villa. She's a little firecracker, and he's fun and spontaneous. She looks teeny tiny. And we do learn that she's 4'11", but that is teeny tiny.
Yeah. So especially small compared to Callum, who is massive. He's like stacked. Yeah, no, she's a tiny little pocket rocket, as they say.
Oh, agreed, Rachel. Whitney was robbed.
100%.
I'm still actually very upset about that.
And Jess and Sammy broke up.
Exactly. Like, fake it, outlast your runners up, please.
Exactly.
Please. It's so frustrating. Fiat 500, push for that couple to win. Another day. So Sally kind of introduced them having a girls chat, and so the girls kind of go over and just kind of have a little chin wag. And then Toby talking to the boys, and he remembers every single person's name and what bikini that they're wearing.
I love how Jack called him a waste man for that. I was like, no, that's what we expect. The bar is on the floor. No, remember my name when I tell you my name.
There's 3 other people, like not even.
Exactly.
One other woman that you wouldn't have known already, and like I would guess Jess just came in as well. So 2 women, you can't remember 3 women's name like at the same time.
I love that Toby said, "You don't listen when they speak," and all of them are like, "What do you mean? What is that?"
Is he like the new and improved Toby? Because he was a little bit of a player.
But you know what? I think he might be. And I also think, though, that's maybe why his game isn't as strong.
Oh, he might. Okay, so he's been domesticated.
Exactly.
He realized that like women have feelings.
Exactly.
So France enters with Sweden. So that's Steph and Lisa. Lisa says that she may look like a Barbie doll, but she is a Viking from Viking blood. And she likes being the center of attention. And Steph is an international French playboy. He's so Paris. Like, whenever I go to Paris, those are all the guys that are trying to talk to me. And I'm just like, you guys are so ridiculous. But
you're like, you're beautiful, but like it gives scammer. I can't trust it.
it totally gives scammer. Like, it's so just lines. I'm like, I don't believe you.
Like, is there a school for this? Where do they learn?
It must be in their, like, literally their grammar school, because like, you know, when he's talking like this, and and it's like everything is just like a rhyming game, and I'm like, I don't believe you.
No, not for I'm not buying it.
But I do love Paris, and I'm pretty into a Parisian accent. I lived in Montreal for many years, and like, I'll definitely take a Parisian accent over a Quebec accent.
Oh,
for sure. So he definitely says that he is an alpha male, mixed with teddy bear. Do you agree?
I mean, I was gonna say alpha where, because because I was not getting that, and we'll get to it, but I have more things to say. Alpha, I'm not sure about that.
So Lisa mentions that she played soccer, and Toby perks up, football, soccer. I mean, I played soccer too, Toby. A little bit, not much. So Maya Jama enters the building at the villa, and she mentions like how the games are going to go. So the challenges are pretty much going to determine everything. It's going to determine who you couple up with, who is going to stay in the villa, and who is going to get dumped. And they're going to be playing for $100,000, which that's a great prize. Like, I mean, in USD. When I hear it in Canada, I'm always like, that's not that much. But like, I don't know, 130 just sounds a little bit nicer.
Right? Yeah. I know. And like $100,000 for living in a beautiful villa
for
in
3 weeks
with hot people, where you have to either fall in love or play some like crazy games. Like, that's not the worst way to spend your summer.
Yeah, it's like, 30 grand, 33 grand US a week. Done. That's good. It's good money.
Well, they need it, because I'm sure most of them had to quit their jobs to be there.
Do they have jobs?
Oh, right. You know what?
Actually, does any of them have a job?
Not anymore.
I guess the only person that's in school would be Imani.
Yes, yeah, Imani's the only one.
But like, I feel like everybody else
is influencing. Content creating,
Yes. They're models. So the first challenge is all spies on me. And so the person with the fastest time picks what, I don't even remember what happened. Oh, okay. So they're gonna pick who they're gonna be going with. The girls are gonna pick the guys. They're gonna have to jump on these balloons that is on like a slippery surface. They have to bust through a wall, go down a slide on like a floaty. Then they have to jump into a tank filled with seaweed, find some hearts in one, and do it in the second tank. And then slide down something again, run out to the water, grab something, go back to their guy, kiss him or unhook him, unchain him, whatever, and then make out.
Yeah,
and then make out. We don't need to go through every single one of these people's performances, but how do you feel about this challenge and maybe other people's reactions?
I mean, it really set the tone. It really set the tone for what we could expect for the rest of the challenges. Like, I wasn't sure what these games were going to be, and I was like, okay, this is what it is. These are like the classic Love Island games. It was super funny. I mean, what did they need those wigs? They did them dirty with those wigs.
They definitely did them dirty with those wigs. And I have to say, watching Maya Jama is like, like
oh my God, like, when Sally hit that wall and Maya went in half, I said, oh no, it couldn't be me. It couldn't be me standing up there on national television with the Maya Jama laughing at me like that. Oh my God.
She just like, she did not, the wall didn't even budge the first time. Poor Sally. She's like 100 pounds. Like, she's also quite small. I think she's like 5'1" or 5'2", and like did not get through that wall at all. It was actually really humorous. Usually I don't laugh. Like, I might be smiling, but like I was kind of laughing. Like,
I mean, she was wearing a helmet. It was safe.
Oh my god! Any other standouts there? We learned that Liberty and Ray were partnered together, and that they're good kissers.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about the other kisses that I liked. I feel Curtis and Justine, they had a great kiss. I mean, she really struggled in that challenge, but I really loved the kiss between Curtis and Justine. They really like
Mhm.
had some great chemistry I saw. Um, what else was there? That was it.
Jessica does not want to be with Callum because apparently they had some sort of
Yes, on
recoupling
their
beef.
season,
Yeah.
they've
Ooh.
been there already. She was not, you could read it all over her face. She was not happy about that.
No, not at all. I mean, from what I know of Callum at this point, like he's an F boy, but like an F boy that and I don't even find sexy. You know what I mean? Like
No, yeah.
he's just like an F boy. Did you watch Too Hot to Handle?
Yeah.
Like Harry.
Okay, yeah, no,
I think
exactly.
Harry's
There's
is a
some
little bit has more sex appeal. Can I even say that? But like, you know what I mean? Like that level of like he gets all these
mhm.
girls, but like I do not find him attractive in that way
Yeah.
at all.
No, yeah, I think the girls that fall for Callum are just I don't know who his customer is. I don't know who his target demographic is because it's very confusing to me because although he is beautiful, the second he opens his mouth, I would just be like, "No, I can't do this."
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll be single and celibate.
Yeah.
Celibate.
I feel like it's like, they're looking for a little bit of fun and then they end up falling into a situationship and then they immediately regretting it.
So with this challenge, there's going to become a power couple, or well, this particular one, um, Lisa is going to be winning, I believe. Is that how it goes? Hold
Yeah,
on.
Lisa was the winner. Mhm.
And so she chooses Curtis to be her guy. Next up in the winnings of like the order of who did this the fastest is Ibani, who chooses Ray. And I said that she should have maybe picked someone from the UK because you kind of want to diversify.
Mm,
If it's going to be some sort of social part of this game, I was like,
yeah.
you might not want to be all from one country just because it could be easy to target, depending on
Mhm.
how the numbers start to fall. So that's just
Yeah.
kind of what I was thinking game wise.
Yeah. But to me, I think it was very clear in that choice that she was really there
Like,
more for the romance, the connections, because he had already told her at that point, I'm here for you. You're my
yep.
number one. So
Mhm.
picking him, I think, affirmed that.
Justine chooses Jack, doing what I said, going across or international here. Selly as fourth place, and she chooses Toby. I mean, we knew she was choosing Toby, right? Like even from when he came out, I was like, that just has Selly vibes all over him.
And she said it at the beginning of the competition that she wanted him. So,
Mhm. Fifth is Liberty. She chooses Callum. I thought it would have been funny if she just had left him to Jess. And she chooses Steph. But anyways, Jess ends up with Steph, who is
mhm.
definitely a cutie, but his personality is not international.
Yeah. And I feel like Jess is so high energy that I think it could be a good balance, but I wasn't seeing any sparks. I wasn't seeing any chemistry between the two of them.
Mm-mm.
It felt like he was kind of like taken aback by her energy, and it wasn't gelling for the two of them.
Not at all. So we see Sally and Justine. They're all kind of in the bedroom with their two guys. And I'm like, I'm already loving this foursome. Like, I'm like, this is the foursome that I like. I love so far the romance between Toby and Jack. And then obviously Sally and Justine. And like the fact that they are kind of all we're going to be working together. I was like, I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
So Lisa and Curtis are having a little bit of a chat. I think he said this, I'm a boring bastard.
Yep. Don't disagree.
He's kind of boring, to be honest. And so, but she said that he would choose love over boys. Is that true, you think?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about her from her season, so I'm just kind of going off of what she's telling us. And in that moment, I mean, it seems like that she's interested in him in that way, but also she was the winner of the competition, so it's very easy to say that you're here for love when you just won.
Fair. Fair. Imani and Ray are chatting, and he learns that she's a molecular biology major. I mean, it's very, very smart. And they're talking about it, whether they want to be doing gameplay or in dominate or to lay low. And so they say, I think they were. Wait, actually, I don't remember what they said. I didn't say it.
I think they agreed that they were going to try and lay low and just kind of like stay in the middle of the pack.
What would you do? Would you dominate or would you lay low?
I mean, because thing is with these challenges, right? If you dominate, you become a target. So sometimes it's for the best to kind of hide in the middle of the pack for as long as you can. I think I would as well. I mean, but also, who am I kidding? I do not have any athletic ability. I would be in the bottom.
You're like, I think I'm gonna have to go social game here. Oh, you should catch up on the show. I'm very much enjoying it. I think it's been a really fun watch. And there's some screaming moments. Like I think it's better than the regular seasons. Just saying.
100%.
So I would catch up, and then you can come and hang out with us and know what we're talking about. So Justine and Jack are talking, and they both play soccer, and then they decided to race each other. And like, I like their dynamic.
I love that little moment. I love that little like competitive flirtation, the way that he just immediately stood up and threw those pillows down, was like, no, we're doing this now. But then also how it was like very playful, and they clearly had chemistry because, you know, they were racing, but he still had his hands all over her. So it was the beginning of something for sure.
I love that for her because she kind of got done dirty her season in the end.
Oof.
Right?
I know.
Right.
Boo, Caleb.
So Jess and Steph are talking, and like, so he didn't even say that she was his top choice. Like they were not able to communicate. Clearly, Steph is not interested in Jess at all, and he's like, yeah, you were in my top 3 or 2 or yeah, Lisa would have been my first choice. Like,
but I love that he you know, he stood 10 toes. He was like, no, like, you're not. I'm being honest. It's not what a woman wants to hear in that moment, but I respect him for the honesty.
On a show where you're like in a bikini and you're supposed to be there because you're hot, like it's kind of ouch. Ooh. ouch. So Sally and Toby are talking. They're actually started getting ready for the night, and apparently she has caught his eye. I want them to gel and vibe a little bit better, you know? We do find out a little bit later on kind of what the issue is, but like I kind of want them to be all in on each other.
Mm-hmm.
So in the nighttime here, Liberty and Callum are talking about the Statue of Freedom and the Statue of Liberty. Man, like I am turned on by the brain, and Callum's brain isn't one that turns me on.
No, his brain may not be on. I don't know if he got that in whatever starter pack that, you know, built him in the whatever lab. But no, that conversation when she said, my name means freedom, he's like, does it? Liberty? Liberty? Really?
You need some help with that? Like, Statue of Liberty? Is that the Statue of Freedom?
Oh my God. But like, at the same time, I do feel like the two of them, out of all of the couples in that episode, they had the best chemistry to me. Like, you know, Liberty is such like a lighthearted, bubbly person. And even though he is such a bimbo, like I felt like they really were bantering back and forth, and they had something that felt electric.
I see what you're saying, but the issue is with him is that he's not going to be satisfied with the Liberty type, and like it just he would never allow himself to be with Liberty because he kind of he's always going to be looking for somebody better, and it's never going to be her. And so even if they had the best chemistry in the world, he wasn't going to stick with her.
Yeah,
like no way. He tells her that she has a resting bitch place
in that conversation as well.
I wrote kiss question mark. So
yeah, no, they did. They kissed in that conversation as well. So they're sitting there talking, flirting. She's not turned off by the fact that he is very dumb, and they had a kiss. So that's why I was rocking with them. So, but you're right. Like he has too much of an ego, and I don't think that he would allow himself to.
And like he's just too like on to the next. Like need more girls, women. Yeah. Like it's a lot.
It's a very immature like way to approach like dating.
100%. So we get introduced to two bombshells coming in on a motorcycle, and Maya Jama shows up, and all the Islanders are blindfolded, and the bombshells are meant to kiss two Islanders each that they're attracted to. And the two bombshells are Megan, who's been all over reality TV since her stint on Love Island, where she also came in as a bombshell, and Johnny from season 2, who came on as a bombshell, who dated Selly after the season, and they definitely had apparent beef.
Oh yeah,
What did you think
the
about?
producers are producing, because those two for the first bombshells, like, so basically you're telling me you don't want Selly to have any peace, and you don't want any of the women to have any peace either, because Megan is gorgeous. She is such a great bombshell, and she's also really smart as well. So like, she's got good personality. Like, she's a threat. Absolutely.
And she knows what she's doing. Like, she's coming to play her role. She knows how, like, the bombshell is bombing when you bring in Megan.
Absolutely.
So she goes in and straddles Callum and gives him the kiss of a lifetime. I was like, okay. Like,
did she need to get on his lap? Like, I don't know that she needed to do that. But I mean, you're a bombshell. You're coming in the first episode. Like, that's a great entrance to make. So
I mean, he wants to make an impact, right?
Yeah.
And then she goes and kisses Steph. Were you surprised by her choices?
I was surprised by that choice, but also thinking about it now, it does make sense, because a lot of those UK boys she probably knows a little bit just from like the Love Island circuit. And then who else was left from the US? There was Ray. And is Ray the only US boy at that point?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah. So I can see it. I mean, Steph, I think, was probably the best choice of what was left.
And I was like, if this man Johnny kisses Selly, he's a waste man. Like, that's like so wrong. Like, and I'm like, of course he's gonna do it, because like, why else would he be here? And she's blindfolded, so there's no way that she's gonna do anything but just kiss her back. And you know what music started playing again?
Toxic.
Toxic is back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, these producers.
I mean, I think he thought he did something there, standing there with his platform shoes. So maybe she wouldn't know.
Yeah, the height thing might be a little bit off, because
Exactly.
that's like, oh, Selly's gonna know, because he like does this whole like grab her by the head, like he's like, I don't know, Dracula, and is like
I mean, it is hot. Her. It was a hot kiss, but I don't know, man. He didn't need to do that to her.
Yes, it was so disrespectful. It was really uncalled for. But you know, Johnny Middlebrooks is a messy, messy, messy man. I'm surprised that he didn't go on to the Challenge US or the Challenge 39, because he was left at the airport. So I don't know what happened there. He made it through, and then he was dropped at the airport, and he had like a couple exes on there. So I don't know why he didn't end up getting to be on the season.
Yeah, maybe it was messy. Like a scheduling conflict.
Or maybe he was still on contract with this or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's messy. He's hot, but he's messy.
Oh, absolutely.
So, you know who else is messy? The producers are messy for bringing in, like, blindfolding Selly, making him give her this passionate kiss, and then he also kisses Imani.
I was surprised by that. I was surprised by that choice, but I mean, it makes sense. Imani's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Like, I'm happy that he chose well in that moment.
He definitely, I mean, I probably would do the same. Yeah.
I mean, out of everyone that was there, I mean, there was Justine, who he couldn't have kissed.
No, I think that's two brother sister.
Exactly. And then there was Liberty left, who maybe he doesn't know. And then, well, no, Lisa. I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out, you know what? Actually, I'm surprised he didn't kiss Jess in that moment, because Jess and Selly are like really kind of similar in like aesthetic, and that kind of seems like his type.
But okay, but we knew that he was going to go. Maybe he wanted the smoke with Ray. Or maybe he knew that what was going to happen next, and like he's kind of choosing who he might want to
choose your fighter.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, so episode 2, we get right into it. Raise your hand if you were kissed. So they just come right back into right where we were. No lead up. And so obviously Imani, Selly, Callum, and Steph all raise their hand. And so this means that their partners are going to have to face off the bombshells that chose their partner. What did you think about this new little twist and introduction
I
to these
love that
bombshells?
twist. I thought that was a great twist, and I feel like that's something that should be brought into the original Love Island, because there's always that tension when a bombshell comes in, and you know that they're coming for your girl, and there is that animosity. So yeah, let them fight it out.
Especially if it's like the normal season where they're able to watch it in real time, because it can be like,
Mhm.
I like this person. Okay, it's gonna be a blindfolded. I get to make out with who I want to go in and mess up their relationship. I'm like, I think it could work. I
Yeah,
think it's a
no, I
good
really
twist.
like that.
I kind of wonder if they changed up who's on the production team, because like there's some good ideas that are here,
Yeah.
some messy ideas. Maya asked if anybody recognizes these kisses. Also very messy, Maya.
Messy.
Sally thinks that maybe she's overthinking it. And I'm like, she knows it's him. Like, you have to know someone that you
I'm
dated,
sure
even
she
if,
knew in her soul. She's like, that beard feels a bit too familiar.
right? Like, she would know his smell. Like, she would know how he kisses. So, I
Mhm.
mean, there's no way that I wouldn't know. So, I think she knows. She knew.
Yeah.
She knew. So Toby, Ray, Jess, and Liberty. So they're going to be having a duel now to protect their or their partner, which I also love. So they're going to be on like a post with like a kind of jousting sticks, and they're going to have to face off against each other. But they get to choose who they're going to face off against. So did you think that Johnny was going to choose to face off against Toby or Ray?
I wasn't sure, because when he kissed Sally, I was like, are you here to win her back? Is that what you're
Mm.
trying to do? I was really kind of on the fence about it, but I'm glad he didn't choose Toby. It was funny watching Toby's reaction, being like, I want to fight.
I
Ray was
wouldn't want
ready.
to.
Ray was like, I'm a fight for my woman. But Toby was like, me,
What
fight.
do I do? I didn't do nothing. Before the duel happens, Justine and Sally have a quick chat, and she's like, I don't know, it could be him. Is it him? Like, I don't know. We see Jess talking, and like, she's like, I think this is why I'm not gelling with Jess this season, is that she's just like kind of like the victim. She's like, why me?
Yeah.
Like, why is this happening to me? Like, why? Oh my God, why does my guy, why does he get, like, I'm like,
Mhm.
it's the show.
Yeah.
Like,
She's
I
taking
don't know.
everything super personally, and it's
Yeah.
making it hard to watch and hard to root for her.
Sally and Toby talks, and she's like, if it's her ex, she doesn't think that he would choose her, and so that she thinks that Toby might be in the clear. And like, I was hoping that as well, because I'm like, Johnny, do you really want to be spending a week with your ex that you don't talk to, or like however long
Mhm.
the cycle is, like
Yeah.
just
But
to
you
be
never
messy?
know, especially with toxic exes. You never know what kind of time they're on when they come back.
Yeah, she clearly was like, if he does it, he's doing it. He kissed her just to be a dick, and like
Yeah.
nailed it,
Yep.
to be a messy dick. So Liberty and Callum talking and about how she straddled him. And I feel bad for Liberty, because like Megan is a bombshell, and as much as Liberty is beautiful, Megan knows how to use her body and her femininity,
Mhm.
and like she just exudes woman. And so I feel like it just sucks for Liberty in this sense, because like if she wouldn't be able to go up against
No,
Megan.
Megan. Liberty's such a sweetheart. And I think ultimately that's her problem, is that she is just so kind and sweet. And I think that men see that. And I don't know. You know what? What's that phrase? Men love bitches. They really do. Not to say that that's Megan, but I'm
Have you read the
seeing.
book? I haven't read the
No, I
book.
haven't.
I should read it. I need to know why do men love bitches? Steph and Jess talk, and she's obviously annoyed that she might have to go and face off to protect him. I mean, it's funny that everything's kind of happening to her, but like, I wish she took it a little bit more like a champ. Amani is asking Ray, do you feel ready? And he does. And he's feeling a little bit slighted though for the fact that Johnny is like someone that he's probably hung out with a little bit. Them both being
Mm.
from the US on US seasons, like back to back seasons. So I would feel a type of way if Johnny went and kissed the girl that I was with.
No, absolutely. I think, and it makes sense. I think it was, what was it? Megan said it as well, right? She's like, Liberty was the only girl of all those girls that she really knew. So she felt like she couldn't choose Callum. And I feel like Ray was expecting that same loyalty from Johnny. It's like, we're both from the US. We know each other. Like, don't do me like that.
So Liberty was talking to Lisa, and she tells him how she and Callum had kissed, and but Lisa doesn't like him because she saw him from his season. So I'm sure that he's not a catch.
No,
Like they brought him on the
he's
show
not,
to be.
he is no one's catch.
So the duel is not happening tonight. Everybody's going to bed, but in the morning, all the boys are cooking. I find that also very interesting. In the UK, more so, it's obvious, but the men are always doing the cooking and the women don't.
How it should be.
I mean, I'll take you want to cook for me. I'm like I'm in, but like
But
usually
I
the
like
women
that.
wanted
I
like,
don't
hey,
know.
I want to cook for you. Let me make something for you, and it's more so the men in general.
I mean, I think that's something that's definitely unique to the villa. Like, do we really think that any of these men are cooking when they get home? Like, they know what they have to do, right? They're trying to graft, right? They're trying to get these women to fall in love with them. So they'll bring their little coffees, make their little eggs, like.
Like Curtis bringing Lisa a coffee, and she's like, oh.
Mhm.
So Callum and Steph, they actually want new girls. Jess is getting jealous.
Oh my
I feel
God.
bad for Jess a little bit, but she doesn't know me. So all the boys are chatting, these morning chats. That's one thing I don't like about this new villa. I kind of liked the lookout in the UK version where the
Mhm.
women always went to chat. But here the women are doing their chit chat in like the vanity
The
room and
dressing
like
room, yeah.
the guys, I don't even know where they're doing it. Sometimes it's the bedroom. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know why they didn't consider the place to have a chat.
Yeah, because for the women, I mean, for the women in the dressing room, it does kind of seem like a natural fit because they're all getting ready first thing in the morning, so it makes sense for them to be sitting there doing that. And then I think what we've seen so far is the guys in the kitchen. I think for the most part having those conversations where they belong. So
Callum is quizzing Liberty and Jess. So this was kind of funny.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Callum quizzing anybody is crazy. That's crazy.
I didn't write down any of his questions, but like
when he said, I don't even know the answers, I bet you don't.
But yeah, because it seems as though he really wants to have like a smart partner or whatever. And I guess because those two are potentially dueling, if it's like some sort of trivia challenge, like they're just gonna be ready, they're gonna stay ready.
Yeah, at least he knows his weaknesses though, and I will give him that.
Oh, I've got a text. So we learn who is going to be chosen and who is going to have to duel. So Imani is going to be chosen by Johnny, and Ray is going to have to fight to save his woman. And Steph is chosen, which means that Jess is going to have to fight. So we sketch the duel, and Ray feels confident. He's just there. That 5'11" energy is coming through. Jess is going to be up first, and I think Megan might have gotten her bum done because, like, I don't remember her having such
might have. That is a BBL if I have ever seen one.
Well, the reason why I say might is a few episodes later, she does mention some of the work that she had, and she didn't mention the bum.
Well, but didn't she say, what was the quote? I'm 90% plastic, 100% hot.
Yeah, 90% plastic. Was it 100%? Yeah, 100% hot. Well, she is 100% hot.
Does a BBL count as plastic? Because don't they just take your fat from your stomach and put it in your butt? So you really didn't add anything. You just moved it around.
Redistribution?
Exactly.
Okay, so maybe that's why she didn't include that in the plastic makeup. Or like the plastic surgery that she's had. But yes, her bum is very, like, she's super petite, and then she just has like this bubble butt. And this is what we learned that Jess is 4'11". She's teeny tiny. So they're doing this jousting thing. What I wrote better kiss with Steph. Megan. I think Megan liked Steph's
Yeah, her
kiss
kiss
better.
was
That's
Steph
why she
better.
chose.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
mean, Callum's kisses are just so deep and like, bleh, like it's just so gross to me.
It's the same energy that he brings to like interacting with women and like searching for women in general. It's that kind of like puppy dog, like on heat kind of energy.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine he would be a good kisser because he's kind of like,
Ew. Ew, ew. And so I say this all the time, so people in the chat will recognize this quote, but my acting teacher many years ago said, if the kiss ain't great, legs don't separate.
ooh,
And I feel like with him, it's like bolts. Like, it's like,
snap right shut.
exactly. Like, so Megan gets the first point. And then Jess does get the next point. So I was like, oh my God. I mean, there's no way that they would allow Megan to lose. Like, that just wouldn't happen.
No. But I mean, I think that Jess was doing it for pride. Like, and you know, the way that she's been definitely victimizing herself so far, I feel like she really, like, that loss, it put a light of fire under her. And she was just like, I'm ready to go.
But then she loses the second point, to Megan's second point, and then Megan gets the third point. So it was the best out of 5, and Megan is going to steal her man. So after she wins his affection, he didn't really seem excited that Megan like just jousted for him, and she was kind of offended that he wasn't a little more enthusiastic.
I think he was just trying to play it cool because we even saw when he was in the gym with Callum talking about the new women and how excited about he was to be a player. Like, I think that he was really excited and he was just trying to play it off and didn't want to like seem too eager in front of her.
I guess, but like, I don't know, give her something.
Yeah, I mean, he
Like,
should have, but
like, I don't know, like a hug, be like, yes, oh my, like, I don't know, something. It could be the language thing. But I would want a little more energy because I'm just be like,
of
like
course. If I had just jousted for you, like I need you to be like, yes, amazing, you killed it, everything.
Yes, my new partner. I'm so excited. Something. So Ray goes over and joins Maya, and out comes Johnny. And I think it was Sally that said this. Is this a circus? Because why they bringing in the clowns?
No, Sally has been killing it with the one-liners in her interviews. Honestly, so good.
I wrote, "Are you shocked?" What was? Oh, it was Johnny. Okay, that back and forth. Like I was like, this is uncomfortable. They must have been very uncomfortable in there because like they only showed us a little bit of it, but like she was like, yeah, well, you knew the only way that you could kiss me again is if I was blindfolded. I was like,
yep.
Well, he just did it to break the ice. Is that how you consider breaking the ice?
With an ex of 3 years where we definitely left on like very messy terms and haven't spoken, that is not the way to break the ice. But I mean, given what we later learn about the way that he deals with confrontation and any kind of, and I guess their breakup in general, like he's very immature and childish. So that is a very childish way to like reintroduce yourself to your ex that you haven't spoken to in 3 years.
she's like, yeah, like break the ice, like having a phone call, like I'm gonna, hi, how are you? Like,
exactly. An apology, perhaps.
Perhaps. But Ray is also not happy because like he came for Team USA here. He thinks it's a bitch move, which it kind of is. I would be loyal.
I agree. Like, you know, the US team should have been on the same side, and I can understand why Ray would be hurt because I'm sure they were probably homies and have hung out before. But at the same time, I feel like Ray was doing a bit too much. Like, bitch move, like really, like, and said it multiple times, like, calm down.
Trying to make TV though, I think. So Ray gets the first point. And the second point, I was like, I don't know if I could feel the secondhand embarrassment if Johnny loses right now. Like, I just was like, I don't know if I can handle it. I was nervous.
Oh, yeah.
But then he does get the third point, the fourth point, and the fifth point. What do you think changed in like Johnny to like?
I mean, I think it was that fear of embarrassment. Like he he came in, kissed his ex, chose another girl. If he lost Imani, like I don't know that he ever would have recovered.
Yeah, I'm like been stressed out. That would have been so bad. I kind of wish we
Exactly.
saw it, but like I
Because
also
then he's in the villa with his ex, a loser.
oh my god. So bad. So bad, but he's not the loser, but Justine boos his win.
Which, I mean, that's how I want all of my friends to be around my exes. I will never be, because I'm always pretending to take the high road, even though I'm not actually. But I want all my friends to hate you forever, and for you to know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like it's done. Like you screw them over, we're done here. We're never going to be
Mhm.
on good terms. And if any of the friends are on good terms, like that might
That's a
be the end of a
problem.
friendship kind of. I don't know
Hmm.
if that's toxic or not, but like you kind of have to be on my side. So I get
Absolutely.
it. I'm team
Yeah.
Justine here for sure. So Maya Jama just makes Jess and Ray the new couple. Do you think that was something that was planned or like
I mean, it felt kind of in the spur of the moment. It didn't feel very planned. But I was kind of expecting them to maybe be dumped in that moment. But I think
yeah.
it's so early in the season, I guess they couldn't really do that. But I don't know. It was a strange choice.
I just because they said I feel like they said be vulnerable, but maybe they
Be
didn't.
vulnerable.
I would just
Exactly.
expect it. But
Hmm.
I was surprised that like you guys are now a couple. They're like, oh, okay.
Where the other bombshells like still in quarantine, they're like, they're not ready yet. We need another few days.
Maybe just like the timing or somebody got COVID, they had to go home.
Yeah.
Something. So we see everybody getting ready. I'm sure it was I don't know who it said, but I wrote down you got to lips her tonight. Who said this?
That was probably Jack, because Jack has been talking about
Oh, lip
everybody wearing
sing Toby, lip sing
it.
Sally.
Sally. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We see
I
Johnny
love how
and
they call it that.
lip sing. That's a new thing.
Lipstick.
They only started doing that like 2 seasons ago.
I
Saying
know.
lip
I guess it
sing.
like became trendy, but they start all of a sudden it was lip sync was everywhere. And I don't know. I think it's really cute.
No, it's lip sync's cute. What other slangs do they have that is cute? Melts, like here's a melt.
Oh
Like
yeah.
they haven't used that one that much recently, but they used to use it at season 4, I think. They were like, he's a
Mm,
melt, he's a
he's a
melt.
melt. Yeah.
They have good slang.
They
Crack
do.
on, like I'm
It's
in.
funny though how you can see that there's like a language barrier between the US and the UK. Like the US girls aren't really catching on to this slang, even though to me it feels very self-explanatory, but you're
Yeah.
already starting to see some just kind of miscommunications.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because my dad's from England and like I used to visit England all the time. So like, and I watch a lot of British television and movies and stuff, and so I just get it, I guess. And
Mhm.
I think it's surprising when people don't get it because I'm like, it's just so good, it's so perfect, whatever it is, you
Yeah.
know. I definitely like
I know. I
British
think we saw
slang.
that in the first episode. I can't remember who was speaking. I think maybe it was Callum, and then Ray said, "Like, what does that mean?" I was like, I feel like he wasn't saying anything
What was
to
the slang?
Callum-esque.
What was the word? Do you
I think
remember?
he was talking about birds, and then
Oh,
he's like, "Oh,
birds,
this bird,
yeah.
that bird." Yeah, and I was like, context clues, like,
You can figure it out. Like, and have they never watched any other season of Love Island? Because they definitely say bird all the time.
all the time. Yeah.
Hmm. So Johnny and Imani are talking, and he wants her to be open to Ray, and like he just really had to go for it for night 1. Do you think he just feels embarrassed that like he wasn't really well received? Like, why would you think he was kind of backpedaling on Imani here?
I think he probably saw that she wasn't super excited, because
Mm,
as much as he won, she had more of a connection with Ray, and she wasn't giving him a lot of energy. She did congratulate him, but in their conversation, I could really tell that she was very reserved. And I'm sure she probably already knows that, him and Sally have history. So she
mhm.
was just kind of being a bit cautious. But I could read in that moment that because he wasn't getting like some kind of enthusiastic energy from her, he kind of was starting to pull back.
So Ray, Justine, and Jack are talking. Ray obviously hates losing. He's annoyed by the disloyalty of Johnny. He lost the challenge and he lost his girl. Poor Ray. Poor Ray. Not a good day for Ray.
No.
I wrote Toby and Sally are cute. I don't know what they did, but they're cute together.
They are. They're always just being cute around the villa.
Ray and Imani are chatting, and he is down with whatever would make her feel better. And then they kiss.
It made
I
his
like
day.
this couple.
He had a comeback. Exactly. It's a great way to end a bad day. But no,
Exactly.
I was happy for that. And Jack's reaction from across the villa. Why are you so invested in everyone lip sync, sir?
Yeah, he's just like totally the foreman of like the villa, and it's like making sure everybody's the mayor, like all the lip syncs
Exactly.
happening. Okay, good. So I just seen her talking, and she's also obviously really pissed about what Johnny did. The fact that they didn't have proper closure. He apparently was really toxic and petty with at the end of the relationship, and so she wants to go and pull him and clear the air. And she does goes and pulls him, and so I actually remember this story. I might even have covered it, or I have his live that he did like on. I think I might have it on my channel somewhere, but basically what it seems like is that she paid for a trip to Hawaii,
Mm.
and then I think also things happen in Hawaii. I feel like he met somebody there in Hawaii or something weird happened there as well. But then they
Okay.
were at a restaurant and he wouldn't pay for the nachos after she had just paid a few $1,000s for this trip to Hawaii. And then they kind of broke up. Then I think I heard that he went back to Hawaii with to see this girl that he met. I think. And then he went live on Instagram to talk about like what happened. And
Mm.
basically, I think he was lying with whatever he was saying.
Of
Just
course. I mean, he's a liar. He seems like a liar to me.
yeah, well, I mean, he's definitely very much so, very much so. So we learn that she feels like he's had no growth, and that's the end of the episode. Come back to episode 3, right back where we left off. You were disrespectful. And when she was saying these things, and she's finally getting all these things off her chest, and he does say, yes, I was disrespectful after a little bit of deflecting or whatever. And she said that she felt
Mhm.
that she saw an angel and heard an angel choir singing when he finally said that, he was wrong and that he's kind of an asshole. But they
But
decided
did
to be
he
friends.
really say that though? Because I rewatched that and I was like, where did you hear that apology?
I think he said he kind of apologized. He was
Mm.
like, you're right, I was petty. He did say I was petty.
Okay.
Um when I'm listening though, I'm a very sensitive to tone.
Mhm.
And when I'm listening to his tone, his tone is lying to me, like, as I feel like he's saying what she wants him to hear, and like he's still I don't feel like he believes what he's saying or like he agrees to it, but he's
No.
just saying the words. And so I don't actually believe him, but
It felt
um
to me like he was trying to talk to her, and because she had so much pent up aggression and things that she had been kept in for so long, she was just kind of hitting him with point after point after point. And it felt to me that when he said, "Yeah, you're right, I was petty," it was just like, I just want this to be over. He was just trying to like get this over with and move away from this. It's like, I don't want to come here and beef with you. I don't want to have like any issues, but I also don't want to keep talking either.
yeah, I mean, and she just wanted to be like, hey, I don't want to have anything romantic with you, like let's just be
Mhm.
friends. I want to be cool in the villa.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that they've come to this kind of agreement or whatever. I wonder if he thought that she might still be into him.
You think so? Oh, I
Like,
don't
like
know.
I don't know. Would you want to go on this show with your ex as a gag? Like, I don't
I
know.
don't know. I mean, well, that's what I was thinking when he kissed her. It was like maybe he thought like, okay, I'm gonna put it out there, and then perhaps if she's into it, we can find out.
But he would
I
do
feel
it so
like
he could dump her, though, right? Like, so he would like be like, I'm not into that. Like, I don't know. It's just why on earth? I don't know. I wouldn't go on the show. And
with
do you
my
think that
ex,
she knew anything about this being a possibility?
I think so because from what I've heard, that I think a lot of the contestants were flown out around the same time, and then they were all quarantining together. So I think not everyone, but I'm fairly certain that they had an they were aware of like who was coming in for the most part.
Hmm. So Megan and Steph are talking, and he tells her this is the only smooth move that he has. Is like, you're too far from me. And so like you kind of move closer to each other. He says that she's different than most UK girls. And I was like, that's not a compliment.
And
Like,
how? Like, what
I
do
feel
you
like she's
mean?
very UK.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
like, I don't know what UK girl. Maybe he's talking about Essex girls. Like, I don't know what
But
his.
also, what do you like? How are you saying that to Megan, who is like fake tan, fake body, fake everything? Like, what do you mean she's different? Like, like she is
Maybe
the UK girl. She is the quintessential UK girl. She's got a different personality, perhaps. Like, if she's
I
like
think it's a
very smart.
personality thing that
Exactly.
she's
Yeah.
smart or something. But
But at
like,
this point, have they even spoken?
nope, 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 nope. Um, so she wants him to say something in French, and it does sound like talking about lips that he wants to kiss, and they have this high sexual tension. So he also, to me, seems like a little boy playing like
Mm,
Rico Suave,
playing. Yeah.
like
Oh, absolutely.
playing like
Absolutely.
I'm a French romanticizer. Like I'm just like
Mhm.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I buy you actually being a ladies' man.
It's like he's bought into this like role. It's like, this is my role. I'm the French guy. We're sexy. I'm gonna pretend to be sexy.
It's pretending to be sexy. And he just looks also really young. Like I don't remember how old he is, but like he looks like he's 22,
Yeah.
23.
I don't remember how
Looks
old he is either, but yeah, he does look super young.
So Callum wants to interrupt Megan and Steph. I mean, I know that she kissed him, but like he has no chance, right?
But that's the problem with the kiss, though, right? It's like now she's planted the seed in his head. He thinks he has a chance. He thinks, oh, there's a reason she kissed me.
Right? Like doors
Yeah.
open.
Hmm.
But Megan and Steph do end up kissing again here in this moment, and she does say, because Calvin wants to like speak to her later, she's like, I really like the attention, but don't worry, you don't have to sweat it. It's like, sweat it. She's basically saying sweat it because like I can get any guy I want.
Hmm.
So buck up, Steph. Callan and Megan are chatting, and she said to him that the reason why she didn't choose him is because she couldn't do that to Liberty. Liberty, somebody that she's hung out with, spoken to, probably a little sister vibes, and so she didn't want to go and like take Liberty's guy. And so,
Yeah, she didn't want to pull a Johnny.
yeah, basically, she thinks he's hot though, and I'm like, really? Is he hot? Like, and just because we don't like his personality, we don't find him hot?
No. No, he's not attractive. And also, what is happening with his haircut? Like, why is it like a triangle comb over? I don't get it.
I'm not sure. But Johnny usually has clippers, so he's probably gonna do some lineups, right?
Oh yeah, let's hope so. You know what?
Like
There's hope for Callum. There's hope for Callum
he was doing
later
the
in the
barber
season
stuff, right? Yeah, on season 2.
to have a better haircut. But yeah, no, these two. I mean, I'm not into beefcake like that, but I'm sure that a lot of women are. So there's someone for everyone.
Lid for every pot. Lid for every pot.
Exactly.
Lisa and Curtis are hanging out, and she just talks about how she really likes being around him, and she gets to be weird with him.
I love how like every season there's girls that say that they're like, I just get to be weird. It's like, what have you done that's weird? And that could
She's
just be
so
production.
far from weird.
Exactly.
Like
she's super reserved, and I think that also could be the language barrier. Like not being able to fully articulate your thoughts like in a second language. That's why it seems like she's holding back a little bit, but weird. I mean, I don't see it.
Not weird. She's reserved.
Yeah.
Like I would think when I think of weird people, I think of people that are extroverted or like more quirky. Like she's just not quirky at all. Like she's very more so stoic than weird and quirky. I think she's probably saying that though because like I think she thinks that guys might find her to be unapproachable or stiff and stoic, and so maybe she tells them that, oh yeah, I'm weird. I'm like, I'm fun. I'm relaxed.
Different. I'm not like the other girls.
Yeah, pick me. So yeah, maybe that's like her vibe. Is that like she wants him to like her. Justine and Jack, my favorite couple, I think right now. Talking about ticking boxes. Everybody's ticking boxes over here. And he wants to have a kiss that was better than the kiss that she had with Curtis. And they're out on that beach bed, little one, and it was a kiss.
That was a good kiss. He is smooth. He is, but like that level of smoothness now has me doubting him a little bit because the way that he like set it up, like something I realized in rewatching it is that like he basically created that moment. You know, he threw that out there just to see like, are you receptive to the idea of me kissing you? And then with her little cheeky smile, he's like, oh, it's now. Okay, gotta go now. Like, wow. Like he created the space.
Well, it's better
To
than
himself.
people that don't create the moment, and you can see
Yeah.
the moments there, and you're just like, oh my god,
Mhm.
awkward, kiss or like leave each other right now. It's too awkward.
Yeah.
So I thought that he might have given it a beat, but he didn't even give it a beat because
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna wait a second and like, nope, he's
Mhm.
just gonna go for it. I was
No,
like,
he saw that look on her face, that smile, and he was like, "Oh, it's now. It's go time. Let's go. Let's go."
happy about it.
Oh, and
Like,
I love what he said afterwards, which is also so smooth. What she said, I think she said like, "Oh, I was wondering what took you so long," and he's like, "I didn't want to keep you, or I don't rush things, but I also didn't want to keep you waiting either." I was like, "Oh my god, sir, stop!"
oh my
And
god,
he left.
are you blushing over him? Do we know his
I-
sign? I don't know
Let's
everybody's
look it
sky
up.
sign
I
yet.
need to find out if we're
Okay,
back.
you look it up while I look at what we're talking about.
Okay.
So we see Johnny telling Callum, Steph, and Jack about his convo with Selly, and that like they came to a kind of an understanding that like they're just going to be
Capricorn.
cordial. Hmm?
He's a Capricorn.
Oh, so you probably like him?
I'm a Pisces. Yeah, I couldn't Pisces. Oh,
Yeah,
and
good
so is
match.
Justine.
Oh. This is
Love
a
it.
good one though, like because Capricorns are loyal, they're manly, they're stable, and and I think that they find the Pisces women just to be beautiful and just so feminine and like yeah, it's just a good combination.
I
This is
love
good.
this. Okay, I have faith in this combo now.
This is good. I don't have faith necessarily in Selly and Toby though, because
Oh
like
no.
Pisces and Gemini
Mm,
in a love relationship, it'll work until it doesn't. But
yeah.
she's gonna be too aloof for him, and he's gonna probably get offended that she's not more sentimental and sappy.
I mean, I think we're kind of seeing it already, though, right? You know, he was saying,
Mhm,
he's like, I'm feeling like a little bit hot and cold, not sure what you're giving to me, you know?
mhm. Boo. So, Sally does tell Justine and Ray about their conversation and basically lets them know we can be cool with Johnny. So they got the okay to like not give him the cold shoulder, not like push him in the pool. They can be cool with Johnny. But Justine's still curious about Curtis. Do you think that the producers asked her to say this? Because like I don't think she should be messing this one up yet.
No, but I can understand once she gave her kind of reasoning was that because Jack is so smooth, because he is so good looking, she just doesn't believe it, right? She just feels like she's getting scammed again. And there is something about Curtis that gives a bit more like stable, kind of sweet. Honestly, I think her read is backwards. I think that Curtis is the more disingenuous one, but
Mhm.
based on her past experience, I can completely understand why she's like, looking at Jack a little sideways, like, I'm not really sure that I buy this yet.
So Calvin wants to let Steph know that he still wants to get to know Megan. And Steph is pretty like he's kind of easygoing about this. Like he doesn't get upset about the fact that Calvin wants to get with Megan. Do you think it's because he's just not that into Megan?
I think that that's Steph's whole thing. I think he's just kind of playing it cool, like nothing. I'm not gonna get ruffled. Like I believe in my own sauce. Like if whatever you can try, but like I don't think you can take her from me. But like I think that's his energy. That's his vibe. He's just like a
His
really
vibe,
laid back, cool kind of like
easygoing.
yeah, easygoing guy.
I mean, yeah, it's like he's too cool to care.
Exactly, exactly. He's like
Mhm.
me care about a woman, never.
So Johnny, when he was talking to Jess, I just wrote down he's too much for her. She doesn't even notice how f boy energy he's like. The lines that he's giving her, he's just like I would just be like, "Bleh," like oh my god, she's just eating up Johnny's
Yeah,
lines. Like he's
yeah.
not smooth at all, and like just the way he's smiling and looking, I'm just like man,
No.
I mean, I know I got twice his age, but like, I don't know. I don't
you know what I feel like? I feel like Jess, because she had such a rough start, she just was looking for attention, you know? And now that she's finally getting some, she's like, okay, I'll take it.
I mean, I liked Johnny and Sally on the season before Casa Amor. I did like their vibe together.
But because we love Sally, that's why.
That's true. We wanted her to be happy and have fun.
Mhm.
And like they did have a chemistry when they were kissing and stuff like that. Like I did see that together with them. But yeah, right now he gives me the ick. Like, and how Jessica's not seeing it, I guess. Yeah, like the feeling unwanted has really clouded her F-boy meter. Toby checks in with Sally and asks her if any more exes are coming in. She's like, I don't know. So they're all getting ready for bed. Megan thinks that Steph is hot, but she says the chat isn't good. It's not.
No,
He's too
playing
cool
it
to
too
have.
cool.
Exactly. We do see though, like at the night vision cameras, that Steph and Megan are kissing, and also Lisa and Curtis are kissing under the covers.
I was surprised by that because I wasn't really. I mean, I saw them kind of flirting, but I didn't really like believe the chemistry. But you know, when it's nighttime, you're all in bed, like that's the time to kind of go for it.
In the morning, every girl is doing their makeup, and Megan now feels like she's one of the girls. And Jess is the only girl that's not had any kisses. But
that's that same victim energy coming back again. So I'm the only one. Oh, again, me.
I'm the only one. Didn't get a kiss. No kisses. Toby brings Sally a fruit cup and a coffee. I'm like,
that's
keep
very
it coming.
Cute.
Yes, keep it coming, Toby. So Ray wants to clear the air with Johnny, so he pulls him for a chat. And Johnny's gonna play the victim now because he is tired of being a bombshell, and he knows that he's really connecting with Imani, and so it's just because he was a bombshell, and that he's had to come in a bombshell his first season and this season too. Like,
shut up.
You love being a bombshell. He loves it.
Yeah. Oh, you know he loves the attention.
So Sally and Justine are hanging out, and she really likes Jack. And then he decides to make her eggs and asks her how she likes it. No, with no toast. And he delivers it to her with a flower. Were you excited by this presentation?
That was very cute. I loved that. I really did love that. But then also, that's why I was thinking scammer. Like, he's too good. He's ticking all the boxes too quickly.
Well, maybe he just like knows that she's a winner, right? Yeah. So if this is like a US audience, like I don't know, they might not know if there's going to be any audience votes. Like they probably don't know how things are going to go down necessarily. And so like he's probably like, let's get in with a winner and like let's ride to the end and get this money. So
yeah, he's playing the game for sure. But I mean, that who wouldn't love that, right? Who wouldn't love the flower? That's so cute.
I would love the flower too.
Yeah.
Sally is worried about putting all her eggs in one basket because that's what she did with Johnny. She just kind of was all in with Johnny from the very beginning. She didn't really explore anything else with anyone else. And I'm like, oh, don't ruin this yet, though. You might not find anyone that you like as much as you like Toby.
Yeah.
But I understand what she's feeling, especially with having Johnny there.
With reminding Johnny there, it's like a reminder. It's a reminder of what she's already been through. And, you know, if she wants to kind of be open and not get locked in and then get hurt again. I don't know. I feel like that's the balance that we all kind of are trying to find every day and just dating generally.
So I wrote down poor Liberty because she gets friend zoned by Callum and he feels that they're just friends, that he has a vibe with Megan. And like, I have a feeling that this happens to Liberty often, that she gets kind of friend zoned.
I felt bad for her because I could read on her face that she really thought he was going to say something different. Like, I think that she thought that he was going to say, like, yeah, we're having fun. Let's just keep having fun. And so when he came out straight and said, like, I just see you as a friend, like, you could see her trying to be cool about it, but I could tell she was hurt.
Now, how did you feel about her then going to talk to Imani and asking her if she minded if she talked to Johnny? I'm like, Liberty, you cannot handle Johnny.
I mean, we're seeing what Liberty's problem is. She went from Jake to Callum to Johnny. Liberty's problem is her taste. She has a
Or lack
beautiful
thereof.
heart, and she is giving it to demons.
Yeah. I mean, maybe so she doesn't know what she's attracted to really yet, or like she hasn't been in a relationship with someone that's been good, and that so I think her picker is just completely off because
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a sexual attraction that she's going for, or I don't know why she's not seeing these red. They're like flashing red flags.
It's triggering because she is reminding of me in my early 20s. And I made a lot of similar choices. And like at the time, I genuinely was like, what do you mean? Like, I just see the best in everybody. And somehow just ignore the worst completely.
I mean, it's a lot to ignore with these people that she's been choosing. But she wants to go speak to Johnny. I'm like, okay. So she pulls Johnny for a chat, and she says that he's a gentleman with a naughty side, right? Oh my god.
Gentleman,
and then,
where?
and apparently he can handle her curves. I'm just like, oh boy, I don't know. And she loves the alpha male energy. He does have that. Like, that's probably the sexiest part of him. But then she talks about how she got 9 A's and an A star in school, and that she's actually smart. And like
that moment, and like him not understanding what she's saying at all. It's like, is her accent really that difficult to understand? Maybe it's because I watch so much UK TV that like
me too.
I completely understand it. But Johnny was like,
I was like, maybe he's lying. Maybe he's just faking this and like making it a little bit more like, because like I didn't find what she was saying hard to understand, or like.
But also, it's a different system, so like he doesn't know what a GCSE is, maybe.
Right, but like I don't know. Everybody knows what an A is, right?
Yeah.
Like A's, and I can just assume that an A star is better than an A. Like,
yeah. Context clues. You know what? We keep hitting this point, which is that the Americans are not good on picking up context clues.
Just pick up what they're putting down. Come on. Curtis pulls Justine, and they sit on that same little beach bed that she had just kissed Jack at. And I was like,
returning to the scene of the crime.
Yeah, like that's a little bit disloyal. I was like, Justine, if you're gonna do this, do it anywhere else. But you know, to talk about how Lisa and her he connected with, and he does like her style and all that. And right while this is all happening, Jess and Lisa, like jealous eyes, are just staring them down. Like you'd think that Jess had a set of binoculars with her.
Okay, the way that Jess was like just documenting every single movement, comment. She's smiling. She's smiling. Look at that. She's doing this. I was like, why are you hyping her up so much? I don't know. Like, this is not what she needs in this moment.
No, like you gotta not make her mad. Like she's like, oh, that's cooked. I'd be fuming.
It was really entertaining to watch, but like, no, Jess was stirring the pot like crazy. It's like, it was me. I'd be fuming. I bet you would be.
And so Lisa says that he kissed her last night, and like he just wishes he was being respectful. And at this point, he hasn't done anything other than talk to somebody else in the villa. You know what I mean? Like,
it's day two.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
So it was too hot where they were sitting, so they move over to the swing, and they both would love to find something here in this villa and this experience. And he wants to dabble in a little Justine.
I hated that. I hated how he said that, and it immediately.
Well, because he always does this kind of like kind of talk.
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
He's so like smarmy, and I don't know. Just the way that he said dabble, I was like, it just felt a bit fetishizing to me.
Okay, I see it.
That's how I was feeling. Mm-hmm.
So Toby and Jack are chatting, and Jack's not sure of Curtis's Riz. Neither are we, okay? Neither are we. Does he have Riz?
No.
Not for me.
Maybe he's like, that's his Riz, is having no Riz. It's just like playing that kind of like bumbling kind of whatever smarmy guy.
I know. He's like a game show host, you know? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, Toby though is holding back a little bit because he feels as though he's not sure where he stands with Sally, but Jack needs a little bit more lip sing. And so he's kind of urging Toby to lips Sally. So Toby was supposed to take Sally for a little bit of a chat, but instead they end up playing some soccer. It was still a cute little soccer moment because like at least she got like one little thing on her knee and then he was able to kind of, pick it up and do
I mean,
whatever
why are we
the
not talking about that rainbow flick? She was basically bending it like Becca.
You're right. You're right. She's the new Beckham.
Like, I know that Jack was in the background spiraling, but I was like, but do you see what she is doing? Because she actually has skills.
Did she play when she was younger, or was it just
I
like a
don't
lucky?
know, but I was surprised the way that she just.
So Jack is like singling Toby, like yes, like he's really like in the bushes trying to get this moment to happen. But I said that these two are the duo. They are, if she wants it, they are the star of the duos right now. Just because Justine is a little bit straying a little bit, so like whatever. If Sally focuses, I think that they can go all the way. If it was just purely on connections. So yeah. I'm just like, I like them so much together. I know that there's a little bit of like a, but I just like them. So we're all getting ready for the night, and they're going to be playing some games. So they're going to be pulling these cards, the blue cards. Blue cards are mild but wild. Orange cards are packing heat, and the red cards are hot, hot, hot. They have to do an arm wrestle, I guess, to start this off, which is between Callum and Johnny, and I think Callum won. I don't really know.
No, I think Johnny won that one.
Did I say Callum? I meant Johnny.
No, it was Johnny. Johnny won, and he won very quickly because I think that Callum went back to sit down and was just like, "Ooh, that hurts," especially in front of the birds.
I think I meant to say Johnny, but I said Callum. So best and best, Ray. What does this mean? I don't remember these now. Okay, I wrote down Toby kisses Megan. Jess has to kiss the strongest at the games. And so she kisses Johnny and she sits on his lap when she does this. Lisa has to nibble the earlobes of two islanders. She chooses Jack and Curtis. It's interesting that she chooses Jack as well. Is that just a little bit of a dig at Justine?
Yeah, especially because at this point, what have you seen of him in the games, right? Like at least Jess's rationale made sense because she has seen Johnny compete, but we haven't really seen Jack do anything. So to me, it felt like, okay, I'm trying to get Justine back.
Which it seems to be a pattern as we learn in a couple episodes down the road. So Ray has to suck the neck of whoever he thinks is the hottest. Obviously, Imani is who he chooses. Curtis has to smooch an island that's hotter than his current partner. And chooses Justine and lifts her up and is really extra.
The prompt was crazy because you're telling me to my face that this person is hotter than me. Then lifting her up, and then not just lifting her up, the way that they went in on that kiss, like Curtis was doing a lot in that moment.
Yes.
I was happy for Justine though, because she had expressed that she was interested in him, but
absolutely.
I felt bad for Lisa.
I didn't feel bad. Well, I felt bad for Lisa, but like it's still early days, and like what happens in the challenge usually is not supposed to be that serious, right?
Yeah,
like
it's a game.
It's so early. It's early days. Yeah. So I would think that it's like, it's obviously a challenge. These kisses don't really mean anything. Like, anyways. Yeah. So what about Callum needing to suck on some Megan toes, and she enjoyed it?
Honestly, okay, if Megan was like, drink my bathwater, he'd be like, done.
Glug.
You could tell he was, whatever the challenge was, he was gonna do it with Megan, and he went full force.
Full force.
Yeah.
Johnny needs to kiss now the islander who excites him the most, and he chooses Liberty. And I'm like, this man is just gonna break this little woman's heart.
And I felt so bad for her because it's just feeding into her delusion, you know?
And okay, I wrote like, oh my God, Curtis, because he has to smooch who he wants to get to know more. And he chooses
That's when I really felt bad for Lisa, because you could have said me, you could have chose my partner. We all understand that the games are an opportunity for you to kiss other people that you're like interested in, maybe like wanted to see things through with, but like that was a perfect opportunity for you to kiss your partner when you haven't done that yet in the
And
games.
clearly Lisa was annoyed.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be. It was rude. So episode 4, Curtis wanting to check in on how Lisa was doing, and she's rightfully confused because he had opportunities to show her that he's interested, and he failed to do so. And he kind of says that he'll probably talk to other girls, and like he doesn't really reassure her at all. And she's trying to kind of given a bit of an ultimatum, being like, well, it's just not going to be the same between like me and you now, and like we're not going to be kissing in bed, like if like you're going to be seeing other girl. And I'm like, I get it, but like
Mhm.
I don't know, the ultimatum is not really it, because he's
That's
not
not
really
the way to
checking
go
for
where you
you
want. Absolutely.
with
It's
this
not.
guy right now in
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
scenario.
But I mean,
Like,
to be fair, I feel like that wasn't the moment for that conversation. You know, like I think he could have had that conversation with her tomorrow morning when the tensions were and feelings weren't as high.
you
Like, and
don't
she
think
had
though
some
that
time.
she would be fuming like if they had to go to bed with like not
Well,
resolving this?
I think that he could have said, you know, like I'm still interested in you, so you know that was just a game. But then had added the I am still interested in talking to other people after in a separate conversation. But
Fair, yeah,
adding it
fair,
all
fair. Oh,
together in
yeah, maybe the apology and then later on, yeah. Instead of
exactly,
adding insult to injury.
absolutely, yeah.
So Johnny and Liberty are talking, and she's like, "Are you a dinner person or a fun activity person?" God.
She's really just trying to find a connection anywhere she can. She's like, do you like to eat or do you like to do stuff?
She's like, "Kiss
And
me
then
now." I was
he
like,
says fun activity and then she says trampolining. And you could see in his face, he's like, not that though.
and I was like, "Oh, sweet Liberty, no, goodness." I mean, I guess this girl didn't have deal with these guys in high school. They're so
No.
transparent. Um,
Yeah.
but like, man,
She just,
she's
I
gonna be in
honestly,
deep.
I want someone to come in for her. I really want someone to come in for her because
I
she
hope
deserves it.
so, but I feel like the people that usually end up coming in for her have an agenda. Like they know that
Yeah.
she's like popular or likable, you know? And
Hmm.
so I want someone that genuinely is really into her. I hope so. Sally and Toby talk, and he lets her know that he's getting the hot and cold vibe with her, and she likes him, but she wants a different experience from her original experience. And I did think that this was a good conversation that they were having. I think that they both felt heard and they can see each other's perspective, and so hopefully that they're going to work on it. And they do have a
Hmm.
little smoochy smooch, and
Yeah. I
they
thought,
like kissing
yeah, I
each
thought it
other.
was good. I mean, it's definitely giving Toby's been to therapy this season.
Probably. Hotter. Production is messy. Yeah. Production is very, very messy. So Callum and Megan talking, and she likes stares and having fun, and she likes like being the hot girl that nobody would expect to do these silly things. And this is when she said she has fake boobs, fake lips, fake teeth, and then in her ITM, and then they kiss. So before bed, we see Amani telling Lisa to let him explore. Like, don't try to lock him down. Like, just like don't like if you get too territorial when the guy is not on that page yet, like it's definitely ick factor and people will
Hmm.
just like recoil. So I think it's right advice. So in bedtime, no smooching as far as I can see. And Lisa was on the other side of that bed. Like she was not even
She's pissed.
near Curtis, like the whole bed between them.
If there was a doghouse, he would have been in it.
But in the morning, Lisa's going all Dora the Explorer, and she's gonna get to know all these new guys, and she's just gonna be just so
Did
fun
she
loving.
explore?
Mm-mm. Not at all. Not at all. Liberty though was giddy with her kiss with Johnny. She just I'm like, oh gosh, Liberty.
Not like seeing Liberty that happy just hurts my feelings because I just know. I just know.
Heart's getting broken. But Jess is
Mhm.
also feeling Johnny. I'm like, guys, like he's not the prize. Like, not at
But I
all.
mean, when you're in there and like you have no other connections, he's the best of, you know, the bunch.
I get it, but like also like I would just let him graft. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, make him work for it a little bit. I wouldn't be fawning over a type of guy like Johnny. I'd just be like, okay, that's whack. Like you can try. No. Megan doesn't get any butterflies with Callum, and we knew that's the case because we saw that kiss, right?
Yeah.
Those kisses look so gross to me. So the boys chat in the morning. Johnny thought the kiss with Jess was hot, but there was a bit of an anticipation with Liberty. What do you think it is with Liberty? Is it just like he can manipulate her? She's a little bit more naive.
I think so. And maybe she's just giving him attention, right? She's giving him attention. She's gorgeous. You know, she's really like applying pressure. And I think that, you know, someone who seems to have a big ego, like that's feeding it.
So we see a secret handshake between my favorite foursome, Kobe, Kobe, is that their nickname? Sally and Toby, and Jack and Justine. They have a little like.
I love that. I do love that foursome, and I want to keep seeing them together. Yeah, I love.
They have to be there to the end, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because like they're the stars of their season. I mean, Liberty's also a star, but like I feel like they're stars from the UK this season, and then US. These girls are the stars of this season. So
absolutely. The
I love them.
Alliance.
Love the UK US alliance. So they're going to be playing Most Wanted, where they have to baby bird beer. One person's blindfolded, baby birding beer to the other person, and then they're spitting it into another person's cup, another duo's cup, and whoever has the least amount after 2 rounds is going to be the what's it called, power couple. How do you feel about this challenge?
Disgusting.
Yeah. How do you feel about conveniently Lisa spits directly in Justine's face?
That looked so targeted. And also knowing that what we've seen of Lisa already and how she's already in her feelings, we know that she's upset. Like it felt like intentional. It felt so intentional. And I'm glad Justine said something about it. But I mean, if it was me, I would have been swinging.
Yeah, she's like, not Lisa, just spitting directly in my face. Like, I'm happy she called it out because like, I feel like Lisa's underhanded like blows. Like, this is where I started to actually, I think it was a little bit beforehand when she started giving a little bit of the ultimatum to Curtis and like having the jealous eyes when like he's talking to Justine. I was like, I don't know about this girl. I don't know if I trust her. And then she's like clearly spits in her face. I was like, I understand. Like she's probably annoyed that everybody was targeting her, her and Curtis. But like, it is also the game. And if you don't want to be targeted, be more likable, or be not as good at challenges, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. That's why you don't want to be the leader of the pack straight at the gate, because people will target you. And that's unfortunately what happened. She won the last challenge and everyone thinks she's a strong competitor. So they're targeting her.
Let's get rid of her. So then when the girls are blindfolded, Jack ends up spitting in Toby and Sally's cup. So what was going on there?
I think that it was just an accident. And I don't think that he meant to do that. But then obviously once he did do that, Toby and Sally were just like gunning for them, and it messed up the whole alliance.
Messed up the whole foursome. Callum and Liberty are 2 peas in the pod. Wait, did we finish this challenge yet? Who won this one? Do we learn after?
No, we find out later at the fire pit.
Okay, got it. So Callum and Liberty are talking about them being 2 peas in the pod, that they're such good friends. And so they feel like their teamwork is really good in these challenges. And she asked him if he would split the money. I don't know. Did he give the answer? I don't remember him answering.
He said if it was with her, he would split the money. But he hesitated.
Yeah, he's taking the money and running.
I think he felt put on the spot. I don't think he's splitting the money, even if it is with Liberty. But you know what? Who knows? We'll see how the season progresses. But at this moment, if things were to finish right now, I don't think that he's splitting the money with her, even though he told her he would.
Jack and Justine are realizing that Toby was filling up their cup, and like, so they're kind of discussing like, wait, I thought we had this foursome going, like what's going on? Like she's like, it was at the brim, it was overflowing, like we definitely did terribly in this challenge.
I don't think that they like I think they genuinely were like really upset about that and it caused a rift. I saw something on Sally and Justine's YouTube channels where they were talking about it and apparently they had a conversation between the two of them because they felt like each of the guys was telling them a different message and they're like, are they playing us? Because, you know, Jack really didn't think that he did that and Toby was like, well, I only did it because I saw Jack do it. And then I saw on Jack's Instagram story him rewatching the episode, and he was like, "Oh yeah, my bad. He didn't realize that he did it first."
Okay, so it was like a mistake and retaliation.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lisa and Curtis. Lisa's like, well, why did they choose us? Like, read the room, girl. Like, you have not been likable. Like, you were strong in a challenge, and she said that being the power couple wasn't a fair thing, and it's like,
but like it's a challenge of like
game.
Putting drink from one person's mouth into a cup or to another person's mouth into a cup. Like, what do you mean by it's not a fair? Like, it's actually probably the most equitable because it's not like a fitness challenge. It's not a strength challenge.
I think what she's saying is not fair is her getting targeted in another challenge because she was strong in a previous challenge. That's not fair. And it's like, well, that's part of the game, babe.
Yeah.
Like, if people know you're good at something, they're going to want you out.
It's just
unless people like you.
You need to have a better strategic game and make some more friends who will feel guilty targeting you.
Absolutely. Liberty and Steph chat, and she wait, why can't you tell him about Callum and Megan's? Well, so anyway, she told him about Callum and Megan having a bit of a kiss, and then wait, hold on, clear. Oh yeah, why couldn't she clear her chin? That's what I was writing about. Why can't she clear her chin? Remember,
she had so many conversations with that stuff on her face, and she realized it when she was talking to Callum,
like,
and then continued to talk to other people without washing her face.
So, and then while she's telling Steph about the kiss that Megan had with Callum, and then we see everybody getting ready for the night. Jack and Toby have a little bit of a conversation. They're trying to clear the air about like their beer mishap.
That was so dramatic. What did Jack say? Look at my back, stabbed.
That was good. He's always so honest about it. Look at my back. Liberty and Johnny kissing is sneaky links in the bathroom. What's going on?
So that's where I started to think, okay, well, maybe is he really like interested in her? Like, is this going to be like a real thing? Because why would you do that?
Because you're messy. You're messy. So Steph and Megan are talking, and Steph asks about the kiss, and she's like, "Oh, who told you this?" And he like immediately tells her it's Liberty, and so she's annoyed that Liberty is just such like a honest, sweet person that she mentioned this. But she does say that the kiss wasn't that serious, and they end up kissing again. I mean, it probably wasn't that serious because she said that she wasn't sexually attracted to him. So.
Exactly. Just kissing him just for bants.
Exactly. Curtis and Lisa talking. She has this horrible feeling. Yeah, you probably are going to be in the bottom. Justine and Jack, that's when they're talking a little bit more about their cup overflowing. And then Maya Jama shows up, and everybody to the fire pit, please.
Every time Maya comes in, I'm just like, how? How does she look like that? Just beautiful.
So it's going to be the winner for the most wanted competition, and it is Imani and Johnny, who are the next power couple. And the least successful couples were Megan and Steph, Lisa and Curtis, Justine and Jack. And so the second place, though, was Jessica and Ray, and Callum and Liberty were third, and Toby and Sally were in fourth place. So Toby and Sally were pretty close to being in the bottom three.
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't make a bigger deal about Toby and Sally directly contributing to Justine and Jack being in the bottom.
Maybe they did. They cut it out.
Yeah.
Maybe. So the power couple actually has the power to save one of the least successful couples. And there was no doubt in my mind that he was going to save Justine and Jack, right? Did you think that he might save someone else?
Well, I mean, he was saying that Steph's his boy. And I thought, okay, well, maybe you're going to choose that relationship with your boy over
with his bombshell.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking that maybe with like just making up with Sally at this point and
to like
It's
as an olive branch to show like I'm really here to mend fences. Yeah, there's no way he couldn't have saved Justine and Jack because Sally would have been pissed. And then if he had not saved them and then to stay in that villa with Sally, no, he would not have known peace.
no peace whatsoever. So Johnny and Imani, he says his best friend is Steph. He came in as a bombshell with Megan, but and Imani knows Justine better, obviously, than everybody else. And so, yes, Justine and Jack are saved in the end. But only one Islander is going to be going home, and it's going to be decided by the Islander. I wrote down, bye, Lisa.
I really thought she was going. I really thought that. Because I didn't see any connections between her and the girls, and she gives us nothing. And I mean, I want to be kind to her because perhaps it is the language barrier, but it just feels like her energy feels very down and very closed off and very reserved.
So Jack and Justine, wait, the most in our cup was Steph. What am I talking about? Jess and Ray, tactical approach. Lisa. I don't really. Oh, she's talking about the people. And so Imani and Johnny say that Lisa was playing the game aggressively. And Liberty and Callum talking about connection, about Steph. And so they're kind of going back and forth about why they would choose to maybe vote out each of these couples. And so, okay, that's when they were voting. I get it now. So yeah, so Steph was voted by Justine and Jack. Lisa was voted by Jess and Ray. So Jess also says that there's a tactical approach, right? And then
when
Imani
Jess did that, I was like, I can't believe you were hyping up Lisa so much only to turn around and vote her out. I thought she was your homie.
And then, but she's gonna really hang on to Imani, say that she plays the game aggressively. And then Liberty and Callum talk about the connection, and so Steph doesn't necessarily have a connection, and then obviously Callum would like to have a green light to go talk to Megan.
I felt really bad for Steph in that moment because they're all playing off his connection with Megan as if Megan's connection with Callum is that much better. And I was like, and I was like, what do you mean?
I think that she actually had a better connection with Steph and that Callum.
Absolutely. And she said herself that she was just having a bit of fun. So the fact that all of them made that decision, like, oh, she has more potential with Callum, like that was crazy to me.
So Sally and Toby says that they have no romantic connection. And so Steph is who they chose. And then why is everybody crying?
Okay, when I saw that trailer and I saw Ray crying, like I was really thinking that we were going to see him crying because like someone he had connected with had chosen someone else or something. Like your day 2 boy has to go home. What? Why are you weeping? I mean, obviously men are allowed to have feelings, but like you're weeping.
I'm like, I didn't feel it. Usually like when I feel it, then I'm like, okay, like everybody crying, like, okay, I get it. Like this is a really emotional moment, but I didn't feel it at the moment. So
and you know what though? That could be down to production. It could be like we're not seeing how close they really are because I'm like, wait, it's day 3. Sure, you connected with this guy, but like that you did not know 3 days ago. And you are weeping.
But Steph does kiss Megan on the way out.
You know what though? I like that little moment. Good for him, Steph. He's just like, you're not gonna forget about me.
Exactly.
Like, I will see you when the show is done.
Yep. I mean, I don't know if she will, but maybe.
At least he's shooting a shot. He's like,
leave a mark. Exactly. So episode 5, Sally doesn't want to see Justine and Jack in the bottom. So she really was, shook by this. And so now they need to stick to the plan. But it seems like Justine likes Jack a lot now. And so I'm like, I like this. I like it. Like him. Or I hope it's real. Please be real.
I hope so. I hope so.
So Lisa, of course, is sad while she's talking to Curtis. She thought that she was close to Jess and Imani, and it thinks it's unfair a way to go home like this, and ask him, "Are you happy I'm still here?" She's so annoying.
She really is.
Here? No, gosh. He's like, "Oh, I thought I had you shook."
Right? I thought you were gone. Absolutely.
He's like, I didn't get a vote. Megan Callum and Liberty are talking, and she feels guilty. But they're all discussing about how they need to do better in these challenges. Um, and so Megan, though, is like, well, maybe we should just be open about our connections and as rather than challenges, because like maybe then Steph would have stayed. But then Megan also suggests a throuple. That would be like so not a throuple couple at all. Like I don't see that at all.
Not Callum. Like Megan and Liberty and anyone else.
Callum? Oh my god, no.
No.
Bonnie and Johnny talk.
Callum has such like a puppy dog energy. He's just like too hyperactive.
No, but he'd just be like laying there and just like having women service him, probably. Like, I don't know. Imani and Johnny, they feel like they're a target now just because they're a strong couple. But Johnny thinks that the UK will stick together, and I agree with that. They will stick together. That's why I thought it was
interesting to see how he's so strategic already. So like we're getting a sense like he's just here for the money.
He's here for the money. He wants to win. He wants to be hired again as the villain. And like this is kind of like he went in on the challenge USA, like he was pretty strategic and he was going after the favorite. So he's not scared of making a splash.
Yeah.
The girls chat, and obviously Lisa took it super personally that the word aggressively was used to describe her gameplay. She is kind of aggressive. Like,
I mean, even that conversation was kind of aggressive.
Right? And this could be like a word thing. I remember when I was living in Montreal and someone said to me like, oh, you're just a baby lala. Like, oh, to call me baby lala. And like, I got pissed because like, you're calling me a effing baby. Like, and like we got a big fight about it. And so it was something that's not that offensive.
It's like a term of phrase that you're not familiar with. Yeah.
Right. And so when you do a direct translation, it just seems like more rude. And so it could be that kind of scenario. Even in people in Montreal, if they say like in French, they'll be like quoi, and like, but they say what, like in English, it just sounds so like, oh my god, like nothing, like
aggressive.
Okay? Exactly. So it could be translation and stuff like that. But she definitely took this personally. And now Imani doesn't really trust Lisa because like how she's kind of approaching her about this whole thing. Like I understand what Imani was saying.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you are playing things aggressively and also you're taking it so personally. So that just goes to show that you're more it seems to us who have known you for 3 days that you are more invested in the game than connections.
Absolutely. Or in connections with the girls anyways, right? Like maybe she's interested in connection with Curtis and winning the money, but not the girls.
Yeah.
Jess says it's because you're a threat. And like that's another thing too. She went and won that thing and it makes it look like she really wants to win these challenges and she won't stop at anything. So
it's such a bad thing because it's a challenge show. Like so what if you are here and you are competitive and you want to win? Like shouldn't you all want to win?
I don't think there's a problem with it. I think her problem is the fact that she wants to win. It could actually get her sent home when she doesn't have power.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't, I don't think she likes the social and the strategic element of the game.
Yeah.
So everybody's getting ready for bed. Jess thinks that Johnny is more into Liberty. And I was saying at this point, maybe it's because Liberty has 1 million followers on Instagram. So like if he did any research, he'd be like, Jess has, I don't even know how many she has, maybe like 5,000, who knows? But like Liberty does have 1 million followers.
Exactly. Because Liberty was the UK sweetheart that summer. I mean, her and Kaz and their friendship, and I think they have a podcast now. They've got all the brand deals. You know, she didn't come out with love, but she came out with the check.
Yep. And so Johnny, we even learned in the next episode that he's definitely here for the check. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to get intertwined with Liberty so that all the conversations after the show will be like, what's going on with you and Liberty? You know what I mean? Like it's going to have some relevancy in Liberty's life. And so I don't know. Could be calculated. Liberty's talking to Johnny about their sexual tension. I'm like, Liberty, you don't need to lead with sex. You don't. I
No.
understand you think that this is what you need to do, especially on a show like this with a guy like Johnny, but like it's not
It's
gonna
just
work.
such an immature approach to relationships, but also it's so vulnerable at the same time because she is speaking to him as if they're on the same page, but completely missing the fact that he is not on that same page with her.
Yeah.
Because if they were vibing on the same level and their relationship really was hitting like that, like her having that conversation about like, oh, we have such great chemistry, like that would be fine because he'd be like, yeah, I really like you, reciprocating. But like,
Yeah, she's just stating things and he's not
exactly.
even
Yeah.
responding with like, "Oh, I know," or like you just like
Yeah. Oof.
so in the night vision camera, we see Lisa playing with Curtis's hand. I rolled my eyes.
But I was cringing. I was cringing because I was like, I know that tactic. It's like you're trying to just be like, I'm here, pay attention to me, like roll
Yeah.
over and give me something, but I'm not also gonna put myself out there so much that
Yeah.
like I'm doing anything so overt. But it's like, oh, it was so cringy. I couldn't take it.
Yeah, it was really cringe and it was definitely like I know I said that I didn't want to make out with you at night, but like I do. I
Yeah,
do.
but snuggle me.
Yeah, snuggle me. Like, anyways, it was a little bit calculated and annoying. In the morning, Kira Green is on her way. She's from season 1. She's played on the challenge. I know that she's friends with Justine and Selly. She's
Mhm.
definitely, as far as I knew, a bisexual musician. Um, very, very, very pretty. I find her to be boring as a personality person.
Mm.
Like,
We
like
haven't seen a lot from her yet. And I think
in
I didn't
general.
find her boring on her season. I really liked her on her season. She gave us a lot of drama with her and Cashel, and so I think that's why. But I mean, you're right. So far, I'm not seeing a lot from her.
Megan misses Steph. I mean, I think she just likes having a guy to cuddle up to, but
Mhm.
Kira is going to be there, laying out on one of the beds, not the beds, one of those chairs. And Justine goes outside, sees Kira, gets really excited. She goes inside, grabs everyone, and Megan thinks that she's really hot. And she feels as though she's walking around with like an Instagram filter on. I mean, her skin is flawless. Like
Yeah,
she's
gorgeous.
stunning. Um,
Body amazing. Like,
like
oof.
she's pretty 10 out of 10, like
Mhm.
aesthetically, 100%. Ray tells Curtis though that he's her type. I was like, really?
I'm like, you mean white? Because I don't see the similarities between Cashel and Curtis at all, other
Mm-mm.
than they both are brunette. Like I'm not seeing the similarities at all.
So Dreadful Ruby here is saying that they're enjoying Kira so far in the season, but definitely boring on X of the Beast in the challenge. Yeah, okay, that's where I'm kind of drawing her boringness from. She's a little bit better on this one so far, but she's just kind of boring in general to me. So the girls are giving Kira the tour, and she's actually interested in Curtis. And also Megan, who she thinks is very beautiful. Do you
I
think that
love
she
that. I love
came
that
in
scene of
with
her
the
shooting her shot.
do you think though the producers prompted her to be like, hey, there might be someone that's bisexual in there as well?
I don't know. I mean, I wonder because I mean, maybe after, what, I was thinking that after the last season, where we had Johnny and Cassie, that moment, and they're like, oh, it seems like the viewers are really into this. So it's possible. Because it did seem like it came out of nowhere, especially given her interview afterwards, how she was saying she wasn't really sure what the like how to gauge if Megan was interested or if there was anyone that was interested. But I mean, I'm glad that she shot her shot in that moment.
For sure. I mean, Megan's pretty open if you watch UK stuff about like
Mhm.
being bisexual. So if she knew anything about Megan, she knew that she would know that it was open. So maybe, yeah, maybe it was an honest, like, let's
Mhm.
shoot a shot. Curtis and Kira chat, and she talks about them both being artsy fartsy dudes, and they talks about her bird tattoos, and every time that
Wait,
she
but so are we just saying he's artsy because he dances? Is that it?
yeah,
I'm just wondering.
I think so.
Okay. Okay. I don't know.
Okay, when she was saying artsy, I wasn't thinking of him as artsy. I was thinking of her as artsy for the fact that,
Yeah.
like, I think her family is a musical family, and, like, she has
Mhm.
that band with her sister, and so, like,
Yeah.
I do think of her as potentially artsy.
I think she is for sure, but I think he was trying to say, "Oh, we have that in common." I was like, "Do you?"
Now, okay, so what's the difference? Like, because
I
I
don't
consider
under
myself to be an artsy fartsy, but I went to an art school. So, like,
Yeah,
I've dabbled in many different types of art.
yeah.
Um, but if I
You
was
know what? Maybe this is
only
just
a
me
dancer,
devaluing dance. But you know what? That's the thing is if it was
if I was only a dancer, so I did ballet my whole life. If I only
yeah.
did ballet, I wouldn't be considered artsy. No, no, I wouldn't.
Right? Exactly. You're a
It's
dancer.
yeah.
Like dance
Artsy
is an
fartsy means like
art.
all arts, like
Exactly.
stuff,
Dance is
like
an
do
art,
arts,
but I don't
going to
consider
the
dance.
museum, but then
Mhm.
also going to a theater show and like just yeah, that's more artsy
Right?
fartsy. Maybe she's
Yeah.
not even an artsy fartsy.
I mean, but she was in a family band. I feel like that's pretty
Family
artsy
band's pretty
fartsy.
artsy fartsy,
Yeah.
like kind of like a hippie family potentially.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah, he's not an artsy fartsy. He has to take that badge back. So Lisa's already jealous that Kira and Curtis are talking. I wrote she's annoying. Uh,
She is annoying.
and he's Lisa's first choice. And I think Jess is saying like you're a Viking. Who was saying that to her? Like hyping her up. You're a
Oh, that was
Viking.
Imani actually.
Umani.
Yeah.
Right, because she's still trying to be like we're friends still. Like sorry that I
Mhm.
voted for you.
Yeah.
We learned that Megan likes women, even though I already knew. And so she's kind of has a little bit of an interest in Kira, which I like. I think it's a very good looking duo.
Oh, absolutely. They're both gorgeous.
How do you feel about Liberty and Johnny in the pool?
Oh,
All at the same time while Jess is complaining to Lisa about Johnny, and feels that Liberty is making it weird.
you know what? Like, well, 100% disagree with Jess. I feel like Jess was reading into that, and I don't think that Liberty was intentionally making it weird or even intentionally ignoring her. Like, Liberty is very clearly sprung. She is very clearly just like so into Johnny, the way that
Mhm.
she's following him around the villa. Like that moment in the pool was actually really cute. Like they had their arms around each other and they were just kind of flirting. And in that moment, it felt like, okay, well, maybe this is a thing because like he's not saying no. They're having their little conversation side by side on the edge of the water. I think that Liberty was just completely,
It's
focused
like
on Johnny.
goo goo gaga eyes. Like
Exactly. Exactly.
she's not
She was
definitely not
not
being
thinking.
calculated at
No, she
all.
was not thinking about Jess at
This
all.
is like, the middle school crush that's like gets to go on a date with like the older hot guy. Like it's like, oh my god,
Exactly.
I got to get my moment here. Like, oh my god, he's paying attention to me. Like she's just like sucking it, lapping it all up.
That was definitely the energy.
Hi, Danita. Yes, we are covering it. Hopefully we can get through these next 4 pages in like 14 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, we're doing pretty well, I think, considering. So we learned that Megan is a Pisces and Callum is an Aries. So I'm like, that is not necessarily going to be the sign combination at all. And being so, she said that she's dated a lot of women before, and a lot of women tend to know things about star signs. And so he was like, oh, like taken aback that maybe she could be interested in women as well. Like, what?
Mhm.
Is it a shocking thing in Australia?
You could just tell that like he had never considered that as a possibility before. He's like, wait, what? And like totally the way that he approaches women, like you can understand why he would think that because he thinks that like, oh, I gotta be buff, I gotta be this, I gotta be that, and like women will just fall at my feet. And he's like, they could like women? What?
It's like, oh my god, he needs to rethink his life. But Kira does go and interrupts Callum, and he's actually like shook. And,
Yeah, he really
you
is.
want to stay here? Okay, okay, I'll go. Yeah, he's like shook. Shook. So Callum does leave, and Megan tells Kira about her past and kind of like the fact that she started off as a dancer, and like they kind of were able to relate a little bit here, and Kira's a little bit smitten, and it
Yeah.
seems like Megan is as well. Jack and Callum. Our halfie Steph is out of the picture, but now Kira's here, and she's like, and then they talk about Bombshell, they not knowing what a bombshell was, and I'm just like,
honestly, I'm glad that Callum is on the show because he is the comedic relief, and also because I feel like he's really learning a lot.
yeah, right? He's like, he's
now he
becoming
knows
more
what liberty
knowledgeable.
means. He knows what a bombshell means.
Oh my god, he's gonna get so smart.
Yeah.
So wait, so Curtis crosses Lisa in the bedroom and he didn't bring her a coffee, and I was like, oh boy, like what is he doing? What is
you
he doing?
can't establish yourself as the coffee guy and then step back from that. Like he fucked up because if that's what everyone knows you as, that's a sign that okay, something has changed here.
Mm-hmm. And she's gonna like spiral the type of person she is.
100%.
Megan just chatting, and she talks about her being hot with a great personality. Wait, so I don't know who she's talking about, but maybe probably not talking about Kira. But Jess is annoyed that Liberty is there, and like they want to go and interrupt, I guess, Johnny and Liberty. I'm just like, Jess, like, I don't know, get better game. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you want Johnny, like, shouldn't want Johnny. But like, if you're gonna want Johnny, like
you need to believe in your own sauce. You need to go after him. Like you need to just get up and say, sorry, interrupt? Let me pull you for a chat. Like she's not the boss of him.
Absolutely. And he doesn't, I don't think he actually likes this kind of sappy energy, like jealousy. Like I think he likes being fought over, but like, you know. So they do go and interrupt them. Jess then pulls Liberty for a chat, and she's sensing the tension, and she thinks that that Liberty's not talking to her that much anymore, and like that. And then who didn't say goodnight to her?
Oh, Liberty.
When Liberty went to
Callum was hyping Liberty up to go over and say goodnight to Johnny, and like I can just see it. Liberty was just like, okay, I'm on the mission. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hug him. I'm gonna say goodnight.
Bye, hug, and go back to her bed.
Wasn't thinking about anything else except for doing the thing that Callum sent her to do. But the fact that Jess took that so personally,
seriously,
I don't know.
So they're getting ready for the nighttime now. We see Lisa asking Kira if she's still into, I said it's still into Curtis, and I think Lisa's just pretending to be chill because like Kira was into Curtis a little bit, and so she's just like, yeah, like, so are you still into him? Like she's so nervous that Kira is going to be interested in Curtis. Like, chill.
It's because she doesn't have any other options, or at least feel like she doesn't have any other options in there at the moment, and so she's very clearly spiraling, and she's not hiding it well.
Danita says, I thought I liked Jess, but she's becoming annoying. You too, right?
I love Jess on her season, but this is not the Jess that I knew from her season. Yeah, she's just playing the victim a lot.
Yeah, it's not fun. So Dan here, I love Island Games. It's so good. Now I'm thinking if it's better than the original one. I'm thinking for the US, it's better than the US.
Oh, 100%.
100%. 100. Sally loves J Squared. I love J Squared too. Justine and Jack.
I am Team J Squared. I'm J Squared high.
They get together and they like are lasting, and they can make some t-shirts, some J Square branding.
I'll buy the merch.
I'd buy the merch. And we learned that Liberty, she's talking about Monty being like, I'm here to stay and slay and play. She's cute.
That was so cute. Oh my gosh. I'm also loving that I'm seeing her and Amani really bond so far this season. Like seems to be her like go-to person whenever she's going through it. And I like seeing that friendship.
Definitely. She's really great at making a close female friend in the villa, and so I like that for her, that she has someone to talk to and like be annoyed with Jess, and like just have somebody to like talk to in the villa. So Johnny thinks Jess and Liberty are on a level playing field, and so I'm like, okay, really? Okay,
yeah.
Sally does the toast in the evening. Liberty pulls Jess to talk, and Jess says that she's rubbing it in her face. The like Liberty's not.
That's
doing that
like that victim energy again, right? It's like she's spiraling. I think she's used to being, hot property. She's used to having options, and everyone else is coupled up, and nobody's really paying attention to her. he's the only one she's interested in, and she's just kind of getting in her own head.
And she's crying as she's getting in her own head, and she doesn't want to wear her heart on her sleeve because her heart, it hurts, and now she keeps on getting rejected, and she doesn't want to be fighting with her over a guy. And it's like, well, then don't fight with her over a guy, because there's no competition happening right now.
It's
Like,
you brought the fight to her.
Ariana Madix is back. Okay, so did she have like a two season deal with Peacock?
So
like,
I was wondering that, and I was like, did Maya have another booking? Like, did she have to go? Like, I saw she posted on Instagram today that she did, and I remember now in the summertime seeing that she had to shoot something in Italy. So I think they brought Ariana back for those 2 days to cover for her, because I was wondering, I was like, why is she here?
I don't mind. I like Ariana. Like, I watch Vanderpump Rules. Do you?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, I'm loving this redemption arc for her.
Yeah, get it. Get all the coins. So Callum wants her to be the next Bombshell. There's no way. Like, she's like a decade older than him. Like, if he knew how old she was, he'd be like, yeah, no way, you know? But she's here with big news. Love Island Games is going to be having their first recoupling, and asked Kira to come and join her because she's going to be picking first. And her first pick was Megan. Did you have any doubt?
No, I didn't think that she was ever going to pick Curtis. I was very excited to see that her and Megan coupled up. And Megan was also super excited. So I think they're going to be a great couple.
And Lisa was so stressed beforehand. Eye roll. Dreadful here is saying Ariana seems more comfortable in that role than Sarah did when she started. Agreed.
Absolutely.
I would take Ariana over Sarah, because Ariana, she's a fan of Love Island. And I think that this is what we're seeing is why we like Maya Jama better. We like Ariana better, is because they're invested in these people's stories and is like, is watching like an inside view of what's going on here. And so 100% will take Ariana over Sarah Hyland. 100%. So they're going to be picking these balls, which I didn't understand why. Was it just to prove that like it's not rigged? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting addition. I think they were trying to like mix things up a little bit, but it really didn't work.
Not at all. And like, it's like all boys chips that she was pulling. I mean, at the end, she shows that there was a boy and a girl went in there, but I still call bullshit. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely.
So Curtis is going first. He picks Lisa. Ray picks Imani. Toby picks Selly. Johnny picks Jessica. That man.
The way I screamed, because how are you doing this to Liberty all day? Like, at no point were you like, oh, I want to talk to Jess, I want to do anything. You were in the pool with her. You were working out with her. You were on the beds with her. Oh my God, I felt so bad for Liberty.
And like, she had to be like, oh, good, congratulations. Oh, good. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing and like disrespectful and messy and rude. Like, so that means like Callum is going to be with Liberty again. So,
but you know what I respected in that moment? I like that Callum took that moment to say something nice about Liberty instead of being like, I guess I'm just stuck with you again.
That's true. They have a decent like friendship. So
I mean, I'm telling you, there's chemistry there. I hope that we see it grow. I really do. I know that Callum is a bit immature, but I hope that we do see it grow.
I don't know if she's going to be the person that changes Callum.
Oh no, she won't.
So they showed Jack and Justine's ball to show that like it wasn't just the guys' balls that are in there. Okay, I don't know. So there's going to be a news couples challenge. It's going to be the biggest stakes, and just Ariana's going to be back tomorrow to lead this challenge. Everybody disperses. Johnny and Jess disperse, and the energy that he gives Jess, like it's like, oh, why aren't you like acting like you're like not like, why are you shocked? Like, you shouldn't be shocked.
You're not happy to see me.
It is so gross. I just not.
You know what that is? That's very much like, where's my hug energy.
He's just, oh my God, he would make me so angry. And then Liberty and Megan are talking with Callum, and obviously Liberty is just upset because she's shocked. She thought he was going to pick her. And we're finally on episode 6 that dropped yesterday. Okay, so her jaw dropped, and Johnny's pointing out the fact that like, yeah, your jaw dropped. And I'm like, like, you knew that her jaw was going to drop.
Yeah.
Like, why are you acting like it's not a completely shocking moment because you didn't speak to her once?
The whole day, exactly. Like, what do you expect?
Hmm. And she's like, well, I think I made an assumption. He's like, yeah, you did. And I'm like, it's like he's punishing her for the fact that he gave her zero indication that he was interested in her at all, and that she was surprised that she chose him.
Like, what does he want? For her to like jump for joy? And then especially because she is friends with Liberty and was sitting right next to her, like, what did you expect for her to do? Because anything more would have been disrespectful to Liberty, who everyone was expecting you to choose.
And then he says, this is your chance to prove it to me in the challenges.
Okay.
That he's happy that he picked her. This man.
No. Send him to jail.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a winner. I want to be. You want to be a winner? I'm a winner. Like, no, he's not. So Curtis and Lisa are talking, and she's just so happy that she's got her guy, and they're really in a good place. And Imani and Ray are happy, and they're giddy. And Megan and Kira are so happy that she's happy about it. They're both happy that they're both happy about it. And Megan talks about how she has trivia down, like she loves going to like pub quiz nights, and I'm like, me too. I do love a pub quiz. Like,
I love a pub
trivia
quiz
nights.
too. Yeah,
Trivia nights are so fun. They kiss, and they're talking about the lipstick that she's given to Kira.
That was a cute moment. I liked that. It was a good kiss. It was a long kiss.
And like, it wasn't the kind of kisses that Megan has been giving these guys. He's like really like not looking like they would be good. Yeah, just like I'm like, it looked like it was actually kind of a sensual kiss that they were enjoying. So I liked it. And they both were kind of shy. She said apparently Akira has no swag around Megan. So Johnny does decide to pull Liberty for a chat, and she tells him that I thought you were going to pick me. I'm like, oh, I know that you thought this. He's just eating this up. Just don't give him any of this. It's too much
made me
for his
so
ego.
Uncomfortable. Oh my God. Because you could tell even in that moment that she was in her mind thinking like, oh, I know you picked Jess, but like there's still something here, right? And I was like, right? No, he doesn't want you.
No, he doesn't want you. And so she says he made a decision on the communication within challenges. So what is it, like her accent?
Basically, it goes back to the 5 A's and the A star. He's like, bitch, I don't know what you're saying.
Like, we can't. I guess, did they also, was that the competition that she had to tell him to drinking the beer thing? Like, did she have to direct him?
How did they have to communicate? No, they didn't play that together in that challenge.
Oh, that was, he was with
Imani. I honestly you know what it is? I don't think it's about the communication. I just think that she was laying it on too thick and he wasn't on the same level. So
he was trying I think it's really easy to play a guy like Johnny, but I have many more years of experience. But like, I just feel like he's so obvious. His game is so weak. Yeah. Like, it's just weak.
But she's so naive, and like that she is the exact type of woman that he will eat alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And she tells him, I'm not naturally strategic. I'm like, oh my gosh. Don't tell him anything. They're all getting ready for bed, and Curtis says that if someone had picked Lisa, he would have picked Justine.
I love Jack's response in that moment. He's like, no, the fuck you wouldn't.
No. And then in the bed, the nightcam, Johnny is cuddling Jess like they have something. I'm like, I was
shocked by that. It was so fast. You have no chemistry. You haven't been talking all day, and now you're like holding on to her like a life preserver.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I would be kind of weirded out if I was Jess, but she just was craving attention so much that like
exactly.
She's not seeing it. Oh, wait. So in the morning, the girls are all getting ready. Curtis and Jack bring coffee to their ladies. The boys chat. Callum said that he would have picked Meg. Well, we know that, Callum. But he still wants to spend time with her, even though she's coupled up with someone else. And then there's a text for it's time for them to hit the slopes for the Maddox Mountains. Hashtag cliffhanger. So Callum thinks that they're going to be hanging, and so they're always like training everybody to hang, Liberty to hang. Like, It's
I
probably
love
not
when
gonna be hanging.
they try to like guess what these challenges are, and they're always completely wrong.
So wrong, completely wrong. Liberty and Callum want to win, obviously, even though they're a friendship couple. They don't want to be targeted because they don't have a connection. I thought that their outfits, though, for this challenge were cute.
Amazing. These were some of the best outfits that we have ever seen on any Love Island franchise. Like I
So
would wear.
good.
They
It was
all look so beautiful. Oh my
oh,
god,
the
every single one.
colors, like
Yeah.
it was ski buddy, like, but like hot. I don't know. It was great. Great, great, great. So basically, you got to point out your opponent's red flags and guide your partner blindfolded to the name and these ice things. It was a pretty silly challenge, but some of the key points were what people had said. So Liberty thought that a player would be Jack. I was kind of shocked by that.
I was shocked by that as well.
Were you shocked by people saying the wrong pieces to kind of like distract them and like make them take
No,
longer?
not at all. I mean, everyone wants to be a power couple. It's very clear that there are alliances forming, and I thought it was funny how Toby was getting heat for trying to help Liberty, but of course he's helping Liberty. They know each other.
Absolutely, and she's gonna keep them probably safe. Um,
Mhm.
Boring. She thought boring was Kira, and so I mean, just because she doesn't know Kira at all, but she's right though. She is boring. Yes, Toby was helping Liberty, but they do end up kissing at the end of this challenge once they finally like. I also think it was really, really rude of the producers. So they had to slide down this. I don't know. It's like an ice slope, whatever, into this
Mhm.
water where these puzzle pieces are like that are like ice pieces, and then they have to climb up in their thong bikinis, like it's just, and then like
That's crazy.
falling down, like it's just so
No,
awkward and
no.
unattractive just to see like
Like
these
hunched over, just
like
like,
bare butts like crawling up this thing and then sliding down. It's just so unattractive in my opinion.
no. Oh my God.
So yeah, the producers did them dirty in this challenge. So Jess thinks that the snake goes to Toby. Why did you think that?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't get that either. And that jealous is Liberty. She's so oh
Uh,
please.
if I was, I mean, I'm not liberal. If I was, I would have punched her in the face because what do you mean? Yesterday you were calling me calculated and fake, crying because
And
I
now
was
I'm
talking to
jealous.
this guy that you steal this same man from me, and now you're calling me jealous. Well, she wants to fight.
She does want to fight. Lisa and Curtis go up, fame hungry Johnny, and he didn't even deny it. And then Lisa says Two-Face is Imani.
That doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm thinking now, does that date back to when Curtis kissed her in that first game? Like, is she still holding a grudge from then?
No, I don't think so, but I think it's the fact that she said like was supposed to be her friend and then voted her out. I think that
Mm.
that's where the Two-Face
But
comes
how come she
in.
doesn't have that much energy
I
towards
know
Jess?
them.
Because
I get
Jess
it.
was the one sitting there hyping you up, and she
I
said the same thing.
agreed. You know that like Twitter is like all upon this.
Yeah,
So
exactly. But I mean, it is very interesting because I mean, at least from what we saw, we didn't see Imani and Lisa having that close of a friendship, but we did see Imani and Jess having that close of a friendship, and
100%.
Jess did the same thing.
And said it was for the pretty much the same reason. She says
Mhm.
tactical, I think, and aggressive. Like both talked about your gameplay. So maybe take a look at yourself if
Mhm.
that's what people are feeling from you. But then when she said, I love you, but it's the game, I was like, don't throw in I love you after you make a dig, like
No.
and say that it's the game. Like
No. Because
she's
oof, no. Because you're setting it up for her to feel to sit to like you're setting it up so that way if she feels negatively about it, you're like, "Well, I said it was just a game." You're like, "No, you're trying to manipulate her into not feeling the feelings
Mhm.
that she has, which she's entitled to have."
And saying her feelings are invalid because it's a game. That you said
Yeah.
it's a game. Like, get out of here.
Mhm.
So Imani and Ray goes. They decide that Toby is the fakest, and the most smug is Curtis. Justin and Jack go. They say the rudest is Callum, and oversensitive is Selly. Megan and Kira say that untrustworthy is Callum, and annoying is Curtis. He wanted her girl. And then Sally and Toby, I think that Jack is selfish because he stole her best friend, and Ray is corny. I
It's
mean,
interesting how Sally and Justine and Jack and Toby and Ray, they all kept their votes within their little like alliance, like very
I think
strategic.
it's to not ruffle any feathers with anybody else, right? Like
Mhm.
they just won't take it personally amongst each other, but like they don't want to burn any bridges with anybody else, I think. So,
Exactly.
so they're going to get the results for this later. Lisa is surprised that Imani took it so personally.
The same person who's been like upset about being called aggressive for days.
Exactly. To get ready for the night, Toby makes the toast, and Imani decides to pull Lisa out to talk about, the two-faced comment. And then Lisa obviously brings up the aggressively playing the game, and then Lisa tells Imani that she takes things too personally when this is all because she took something so personally
Yeah.
2 days ago. Like
Mhm.
this woman does not like
She
she's
needs
just a
to go
hypocrite.
home. I'm
Yeah,
tired of
she needs
her.
to
I
go. I wish
don't
she
want to
should have
see her
gone.
on my screen anymore.
She should have gone. They they
Yeah.
they they, they made a mistake there. And so Lisa goes to Callum and Liberty. Um, Oh, so I was wondering if she was gonna give us some white women tears. Sorry, I said it because like I was starting to cry and like because she was starting to well up, and I'm
Mhm.
like she's going to
Mhm.
go to Callum and Liberty and being like, we decided that we're not going to be friends anymore and that we're not gonna like nothing's going to happen. And she's the one that put that out to Imani. Imani didn't
Mhm.
suggest that. She just agreed with like, okay, fine, if you don't think that we can move past this. Okay, she agreed with it, but then she's
Mhm.
going over being like, like she and as if
He doesn't want to be my friend anymore. It's like, shut up. You started
you
this.
exactly. So then Imani goes to Curtis and Ray and says that, and Curtis, way better at this game than Lisa is, says like, I don't think you're two-faced, which is the right thing to say, Curtis, because she's not.
Exactly.
Like, because she was pretty
Absolutely.
clear, like she was ready to clear up anything that she had said. She was like,
Mhm.
I said it because of this. I'm sorry that it hurt your feelings. You didn't end up going, so can we just squash it?
Yeah.
Um, and that's pretty normal and pretty to your face, like
Yeah.
upfront.
It's direct. That's how you want people to communicate instead of, holding these grudges and then having things come out later, like what
Like
Lisa's doing,
two-faced.
basically.
Exactly. So Callum tells Curtis that Lisa may be his downfall. Callum is onto something there. It's the smartest thing he said. So obviously Sally and Toby are going to be nervous. Kira and Megan are going to be nervous. Ray gets a text and asks for all the Islanders to go to the fire pit, and Ariana walks back in. We learned that the couple that did this challenge the fastest was Imani and Ray. And there's some not so good news for the two bottom couples that are going to be vulnerable, that being Liberty and Callum, and Sally and Toby. But not only one couple, those two couples are at risk. A third couple will be at risk, chosen by Imani and Ray. Now, do you think that the producers threw this
Lisa
in
really.
because they are also tired of Lisa?
I think so. I think so because Lisa really chose a bad time to have that fight.
Well, I like have maybe she just doesn't get it, like, but you should be kissing butt. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, production makes mistakes, and maybe this is their way of trying to correct it. They're like, "Oh,
Fair.
we thought she was going to give us more," and because I didn't see her season, maybe she was more engaging. Maybe she was, had more energy. But on whatever she's doing here isn't working, and it's time for her to go.
So she's giving these knowing looks to Curtis, like, oh, it's gonna be me. Like, oh, it's gonna be me. Like, eye roll. I was eye rolling.
Mhm.
Ariana's like, you don't need to whisper because Imani and Ray were kind of like making some decisions as to what they should do. And
Mhm.
so basically, because they were chosen, Lisa says, I agree, like with her choice to put her up there. I was just like, oh my God, please just send this woman home. So the
Mhm.
three couples join Ariana. Lisa feels that it's unfair that she doesn't want to be judged on her performance. But then there's the lifeline potentially. Miss
Mhm.
Georgia Steele herself and Al.
Isn't EL Megan's ex?
I think so.
There.
Also, what's her name's ex? Lisa Rinna's daughter. He was on like the
Oh,
Housewives of Beverly Hills for a bit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I forget which
Oh,
daughter it was.
well, he's been getting around.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, I'm excited to see them because they were both like very like exciting characters and they brought a
Oh
lot
my
to each
god.
other's seasons. Yeah.
Georgia's like she's a hit. She was also on X on the Beach, Peak of
Mhm.
Love with Callum that's on the challenge right now. Like she's just gonna be good TV.
Yeah.
Sam Bird she dated, like
Oh
she'll be great.
yeah.
She's gonna
Okay. It's
be
gonna be fun.
she'll stir things up. I bet you Callum is gonna go for her. I don't she's Callum doesn't have enough swag, I don't think, for Georgia, but
Oh
we'll
no.
soon
Oh
find
no,
out.
no, no, no. And he's not her type. Like, doesn't she
That's
like
true.
light skin like
Oh, maybe
guys?
she's gonna
Like
go in for Toby. Like maybe she never had a chance with Toby, and she's gonna go and try to swoop
yeah.
in.
Because I'm trying to think of who she was with on her season. I think she was with Josh Denzel, who then
Yes.
switched
Oh
up
my
with her
god.
at Casa for Kaz. I can't remember who she was with after that, but I think that Toby is definitely
Type
her
on
type.
paper. No, she's type on paper, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much, Miss Mansa.
Thank
That
you for
was
having
so
me.
great. I know this was long. The next ones will not be anywhere near as long,
I
but I
mean,
just wanted
we
to get
smashed
it all in.
6 episodes.
I think we did I think it was pretty good. Like I was trying to get it a little bit faster, but like I think we're pretty good. So
Yeah,
I'm really happy that that was really fun and I enjoyed covering this with you so far.
absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope we get to do it again.
Yes, and we should. Hopefully, we can go live maybe on Friday for the next 3 episodes and bang it out in like an hour. Do you have anything going on that you want to share with the people? To
Not
follow
at the
you and
moment, but guys, follow me on all of my socials. I'm Miss Mansa on everything, Miss.Mansa on TikTok. But yeah, watch this space. I'll have some things coming for you soon.
okay, perfect. And you guys know the drill over here, but if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, like this video. Let us know who you think maybe Georgia and Ayel are going to go for. Are they going to do another blindfolded kissing challenge? Like, how are they going to affect this vote right now? And so let us know your thoughts in the comments, and we will be seeing you hopefully in a couple days. This has been fun. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, chat, for being here. Bye.